Welcome, everybody, to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. Of course, we're your hosts with the most, Black Spartan, Tafari TV, Short Guy Joe. Guys, how you doing this evening?
It's a good day to be a Microsoft. Not Microsoft. A good day to be an Apple guy.
Damn.
And Southwest apparently running on a Commodore 64 because I know business is booming for them today.
You ain't lying. What do you say, Joe?
I have done nothing but tell people, go vote. Please go vote.
Please, above all else.
Early voting has started. Let me put it to you this way. This is the most political we'll get on the show this week.
Local? Is this like local for you guys? Or
yeah, for Tennessee. For Tennessee, it's early voting.
Yeah. Tennessee, this is the primary for like state, senate, and everything. So,
yeah,
this is the most political we'll get. We do not swear allegiances to either party. I will just say this. With the way the future is looking now, please go vote now because this possibly may be the last time we get to vote if certain scenarios arise in the federal government.
Or we make it idiocracy. Do you really want a president like Camacho Taco Bell? That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, Hogan basically was like getting us ready for it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't like that chihuahua.
I'm watching Hulk Hogan. I'm like, this is Terry Cruz's whole shtick right here.
Yep.
The president of America.
I love how someone just pointed out, I was like, isn't it odd that they're using his chosen name and not his birth name? I wonder what other instances. Okay, that's about as political as again. We're probably cutting most of this intro.
Okay, but again, go ahead, Park. Go ahead.
The same thing I said in January. You have a lot of options right now. Don't wait till like the week of November to hit me with your think pieces and sound just. You don't sound smart. You just shut up. Like now you waited like that when there's like 30 people running for whatever your local big time, small time, tri-state area, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, whatever. Then that's when you go dig up all the stuff. And it's like, look what this person did. Don't wait till like
the worst he's gonna do is ban platypuses with fedoras.
Right, but don't wait till like election weekend. It's like, oh, but guess who did what? I'm like, why'd you wait till now to tell me this?
Pretty much. But as we said, we're not political because we want to bring some happy news. Although Joe is right, please vote if you're in Middle Tennessee. But happier news. But before we do that, we always give our disclaimer. We are a little bit older, so sometimes words will fly. But hey, we do try to watch your language. At the same time, guys, we do show trailers for video games, movies, and television shows. Sometimes these trailers can be very graphic. Viewer discretion is advised. That being said, like I said, we want to start off with some happier news. So let's start with the latest Deadpool and trailer.
Back in civilian life, I wear a toupee. But nobody knows. Everybody knows. Go. Come on, girl! She's coming with us!
No, she's not.
Oh, yes, she is.
No.
Oh, yes.
Al, I'm back.
About damn time. You holding? I'm all out of devil's dandruff and I'm shaking like an angry vibrator.
Thank you, Al. We have company. Race ya.
Worry.
You're damn straight it is. Disney brought him back. They're going to make him do this till he's 90.
Nice fake o'clock shadow.
It's a summer balayage from the French. It's meant to mimic the natural highlights of the sun.
It's a toupee.
It's a hair system.
I love your hair system, Wade.
Thank you.
Let's be honest. You can never be mad at a Deadpool trailer. But that is but like I said, we're less than a week away now, July 26th. So
I can't believe how fast this pulled up. It's also, I feel like this is going to reset the bar for what boundaries you can push.
Of course, man. You're all out of gum.
Leave me alone.
He's
been following me around all week. I did nothing wrong. BlurryCon was fun. But yeah, so it just like I hope this movie resets. Like, oh, we shouldn't do this, and we got to rewrite that. And yeah, I know Cap 4 had to do some stuff because real life things started happening.
Right.
But I think one person's character's story is getting completely changed, and I hate both of you.
They have started between Mayhem and Lady Mandalore, they have started.
That's so bad.
This was like a bad.
Show.
This is like a bad weekend for me to like actually give my contact info out because now people are just gonna call and cuss me out. But yeah, I feel like we are resetting the boundaries of what you can get away with because I feel like PC culture has scared them a little bit, and I feel like Deadpool is the hard reset they need.
What about you, Joe?
Well, I've already seen a review that shows test screening had grown men crying in the aisles, so that's a good thing. There was another trailer that came out. However, we all collectively felt it showed too much of the movie and just didn't want to drop that a week before. We agreed. We want everyone to go see the movie and enjoy as many cameos and Easter eggs as they possibly can. My biggest issue is, why would you drop that kind of a trailer a week before the movie? Like, why?
Apparently, everything a part of the rollout is only the first 30 minutes, and I'm hoping that's still true.
Yeah.
I am with Joe, though. I could have waited till I went to the theater to see that. Like, we all kind of knew it was coming, but it's kind of like Gogeta. It's kind of like Gogeta in the Broly movie. Like, all right, I knew it was there. I didn't need a whole trailer for this character I knew was coming.
But can we say at the same time that because if they're showing, again, we're not going to say what we saw outside of what you've already seen in the trailer, could we say that they're probably holding on to the juicier bits? This is just the bait for us to watch it, even though we know we're going to go watch it anyway?
Most definitely. I feel like the Sabretooth trailer was strictly because everyone in their mother
released too many shots. They released too many screenshots.
No, somebody snuck set photos out of the beginning, middle, and end of what happens during that fight and what happens to everyone involved. So when they were like, why did they show Sabretooth? I'm like, well, we know how that's going to go and where his character ends up afterwards because I don't know who made it on the set that day, but they put all that shit out in the air. And that's when Ryan Reynolds started with the fake
the Predator showed up and the alien showed up.
That's what started that because
I wouldn't put it past them if they show up in the movie. I really don't.
I mean, it could be done.
It wasn't talked about a lot, but if you look at what Disney did with stop it. If you look at what Disney did with Rescue Rangers, what Disney did with the Rescue Rangers movie, the stuff they got away with,
that was a lot.
Everybody from E.T. to Batman was in a Disney film.
But speaking of stuff,
Ugly Sonic.
But I gotta say this though, because this is a wonderful transition for the other part of Deadpool, because we actually do have other Deadpool news, and this was something that a lot of us thought was fake or just.
Well, I already tweeted my bid to win the contest is in there.
So what I'm getting to, guys, is you've probably seen this picture out there of a controller with an ass, specifically Deadpool's ass. So everybody thought, okay, this is just a gag. This isn't really going to happen. Joe's already got his hand up.
I got one question, and it's a question everybody has on its mind. What are the rumble jiggle physics of this controller?
Can't answer that question just yet, as Mayhem says Joe gets it. But for all those that are wondering, yes, Microsoft is not only coming out with a Deadpool custom controller that apparently has it's got yams, but no release date on. Well, actually, I'll take it back. They did say July 22nd. The first. There's more to this collaboration saying on July 22nd, the first 1,000 fans to buy an Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Core from the Microsoft Store will get an exclusive Deadpool. Oh, so you can get it. So let me rephrase myself. This will be available in the Microsoft Store come July 22nd. That also being said, if you're one of the first 1,000 ones, you get the Deadpool custom controller carrier or holder, I should say. More importantly, they look to be coming out with a Deadpool skinned Xbox Series, I'm guessing X controller, X system. So that might be more of a contest thing. Like Tafari said, it might be out there You might have to follow Ryan Reynolds. You might have to follow Disney or Marvel to see when they're doing that contest. Because I'm more than certain that's gonna be the prize that they're gonna raffle off. But come July 22nd, and again, good luck trying to beat the bots or scammers, because that controller will be available. If you've ever wanted a Deadpool controller, there's a shot. But fellas, does this make you want to go for it, or are we just surprised that Marvel went through with this?
I mean, I feel like Deadpool is just something everyone's been waiting to do a collab with, and now they're just going full. Like, they're doing the most random of commercials and collaborations, and it's just like any excuse to wear the suit again. It's just like Heineken ads, say less, zip. But yes, you have to go to Twitter, which Xbox is still on there, thankfully. And the tweet is like, I think Xbox cheeky Deadpool giveaway is the hashtag. But you just got to like and retweet the post from Microsoft themselves. But I'll win it. I don't know if I'll pay money for it, but if they send it to me, I'll take it.
Also Mayhem kind of beat everybody to it. How long till someone sits the Deadpool controller in the Wolverine popcorn bucket? Sir,
that man is asking the real questions.
Let's just be honest. That's only on July 22nd, and the movie comes out July 26th. Let's just be honest. It may actually happen in the movie theater. Somebody's going to take it.
Make a Marvel cross promotion Human Centipede. We've already had Mantis appear in the movie. Move on.
Right. I can't see a Human Centipede. No, hell no.
All I know is Xbox is going ham for them yams.
I just can't see that. Bad happens.
They need the distraction today after their cousins in the company decided to act up nationwide.
Yeah, Microsoft had a problem, and I always say it best. If you have Microsoft Windows, and this is just a little bit of advice, go to your updates, turn off the automatic installs. You will save yourself a headache. I promise you. You will save such a headache, because them automatic installs, yeah, not fun. But anyway, cool to know that Microsoft is going for this. And hey, Lainey, hams for them yams. You ain't lying. You walked in at the right time too. But the other news that we do got, guys, is the Russo brothers. Hasn't been confirmed all the way yet. They are in talks to return to Marvel to direct the next two Avengers movies. They have been saying that they do want them for the Avengers 5 and 6 movies that are scheduled to come out later. Again, for all those who don't know, with the Russos, they did actually direct a number of movies, specifically one of my personal favorites, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Love that movie. And also they were a part of Infinity War and Endgame and other movies within the MCU. So they have a successful track record. So, guys, I throw this question out to you, and I throw this out to everybody that's listening. I think we can all agree that the Russo brothers don't make bad movies. Should they be limited to only Avengers movies?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I think it's like the Captain Marvel beeper. Just holler at them when you need them. Don't try to have them divvy out too much. Not that I think they do a bad job, but clearly I don't even know what to say to that. But clearly they know what they're doing as far as the team up and giving everybody a fair shot in a film. Mm-hmm. As far as what it is that needs to even be done with this movie, or what these two are even going to be titled now, because now it's just Avengers 5 and 6.
Yeah,
that's the part I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what clay they're given and what they mold it into.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. Because of their track record, I want to see them do something outside of Avengers. They've already done it with Captain America, and it was great for there. It was great for Captain America's story. Like I said, I thought that Captain America: The Winter Soldier was probably the best Captain America movie out of all of them. That's just me. But at the same time, seeing Age of Ultron, seeing the first Avengers movie, I think they can do more with other characters if they're given the time. Given the time to direct it, to write their own scripts, to go from there. I think they can do more than Avengers. I think this is just Marvel getting back to their phase 1 roots, where you actually told quality stories, and at the same time, you actually had a continuum between the movies. And Hey, Jared, thanks for joining us, man. Best Marvel movie for me. Let me know. Are you talking about The Winter Soldier or are you talking about another movie? Let me know. Kira said, would you want them writing or directing? Guys?
Well, they're directors. They're not writers.
Yeah. Just direct.
Yeah,
if anyone can handle a team, it's them. Like, if they had to do another film, I'd like to see them try Thunderbolts because we've had a name with an asterisk.
Thunderbolts needs them because what these guys specialize in. I don't mean to cut you off, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Mm-hmm. If you look at their track record in Marvel, a lot of their stuff is long-winded political thrillers or long-winded action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderbolts needs to roll out as a political thriller about a group of soldiers or superheroes being used by the U.S. government to fit the U.S. government's means. They are basically the superhero equivalent of X Factor, which is the government-controlled mutant task force. They are the superhero mutant task force run either by the government or the version. See, there we go. Case in point.
Yeah.
No, come back to the X Factor book. So, like, they understand what a political thriller is or political action movie. Because right after this, they did that movie with Chris Evans versus
Extraction.
Yeah. So they need to do that. I don't know if Avengers 5 is supposed to be Young Avengers or all new, all different Avengers. But like depending on what the core lineup of that Avengers movie is, I would like to see them return, but it's going to depend on who the cast is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't think they're suited for Young Avengers.
That's another one.
The Gray Man. That's what I was thinking of. The Gray Man. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're suited for maybe like teenagers. That was the case. I would get the director for the Hawkeye series to run that one. That's just my opinion there.
I mean, that's what I'm with that too. It's just that I want you're going to need for Marvel to actually bounce back from what we're used to. You're going to need quality writers. You're going to need quality directors. Russos have proven themselves. Do I think there are other directors they can bring in? Absolutely. They just have to give them. They just have to give them the opportunity. But again,
go ahead. There's the caveat there. We get great directors, but do they fit the Marvel? Do they fit the Marvel standard? Because we've had amazing directors connected to Marvel films.
Okay.
We had Edgar Wright originally connected to Ant-Man, left because of Marvel standards. We've had.
The only problem I had with Ant-Man was they didn't go the route they should have did. They again tried to. You can't market some characters to where it's kid friendly. You just can't.
No. I don't mean Quantumania. I mean original Ant-Man.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The original Ant-Man, you cannot do Amazing Tales to Astonish and make it kid friendly. Not with some of those stories.
Sure you can. You just call it Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Scott Lang.
Then that's just campy though. At that point, I might as well just watch Rick Moranis.
It worked then, it'll work now. We got 2 sequels in a TV series.
You know what, remains to be determined. But I see your point though. It's like I said, it's just the whole thing of it still goes back to writers and directors. It's like you said, the directors. If the directors are given the reins to do what they want to do with certain films, I think it worked. But that could also be the problem. That could also be the problem with Blade because Blade seems to be cursed. But
there has to be like a God forbidden plot point in the Blade script where they're just like, all right, this needs to be in there, and everyone is collectively going, absolutely not.
Yeah, I guarantee you, it's probably, and this is going to sound so horribly sexist. I immediately apologize, Kira. It's because they are trying to inject a female hunter that is super competent, but they don't want her to take the forefront, but they do want her to be pivotal to the plot. To which I say, get off your asses and just adapt Blood Hunt, or adapt the whole arc that introduces her story.
I mean, that is, you could do
That
that.
lets you get your female audience, gets you your strong female character out there, and also lets Blade be front and center and have him do awkward dad stuff.
But again, can we do it before Mahershala Ali becomes literally Whistler? That's all I ask. Could we do
I want them to do it before I become Whistler.
I think at this point I'll be 50 before the Blade movie comes out, but we'll leave it at that. So the next thing we're going to cover, guys, is Mortal Kombat 1. We are reaching the end of the Compact 1 trailer, and they did reveal the final character of that Compact 1 trailer. One of my favorites, Takeda. I've always mispronounced this guy's name, but thank you. But here's his trailer.
I didn't know we had anyone left. I thought Homelander was it.
Nope, he was it.
Last one.
And then the announcement of season 2 is this weekend.
I feel like they stretch it so much. By the time we get to the first part of season 2, it'll be time for a new game.
Fight.
Ooh, let's say I pair you with an archer, couple of soldiers. I don't want to be in some super team action movie. Kenji was right. You are scary.
Our combat will frighten you further. Finish him. Fatality. Takeda wins.
All right, so guys, that was the Takeda trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. He does round out the end of the Combat Pack number 1, and of course with Quan Chi, with Ermac, Homelander, Peacemaker, along with Takeda. So, fellas, are we disappointed? Are we looking forward to it?
I am mildly annoyed because he comes out the same day as Lydia in Tekken 8. Honestly, I don't think he's too bad. He's like a hybridization of the Shira Ryu and Lasher style from Mortal Kombat 11. Like they totally did away with the laser swords, and his gameplay trailer they did the combat cast for him he's terrifying. Like he's legitimately terrifying.
He was one of like the main characters in MKX, right?
He was one of the combat kids.
He was one of the
he's
combat
like
kids.
Okay. That's why I didn't
he's
recognize
the only
him.
surviving combat kid.
Yeah.
Is he? I thought they also made it out of that one.
Not all of
No.
them.
I mean, like, in terms of popularity, nobody liked the combat kids except for Takeda.
Really? Not even Jack? I mean, I know they don't reuse a lot of characters, but I was surprised Jax's daughter and young Cage didn't make a return.
Yeah,
No.
it was kind of
When
bad.
even Liu Kang thought they were annoying because remember he reshaped this new reality and only brought back
Right.
one.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did. He literally got to hard reset the entire universe.
And only
Yeah.
brought
I
back
didn't realize that was him
Did.
because they changed his entire look. So
Yeah. Although I love his fatality, though. That fatality was disrespectful.
Is this alt noob Cybot or is that somebody? Am I thinking of the wrong?
That's it was both the cyborg ninjas, Ketchup and Mustard, Sector and Cyrax.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Although it's still going to be interesting. So, but like you said, Lydia comes out. That Lydia pack for Tekken 8 also comes out the same time he comes out.
Same day, 23rd.
Damn. Decisions. But yeah.
Well, I don't have MK, so I know what my decision is.
I'm greedy. I gotta have both. But speaking of decisions, guys, this shouldn't be surprising as I bring this one up. Halo, the series on Paramount Plus, has seen its end. Paramount has decided that they will not give Halo the series a season 3. They say, quote unquote, "We are extremely proud of this ambitious series and would like to thank our partners at Xbox 343 Industries and Amblin Television. Blah blah blah. We wish everyone going the best forward in all their future endeavors." Me and Joe have sat there and said about Halo when we first saw it, and Tafari, I want your opinion on this as well as everybody else who's watching us, guys. Oh, he didn't want to go Blood Hunt or Julie's Den as a vampire. Oh, that makes sense. I'm sorry, Mr. Filemax. I missed your comment on that. Apologies. But to everybody that's listening, are we not surprised that Halo failed because they kind of went so far beyond the pale? Or is this just another example of a network seeing a video game and just not giving it its due dust and not actually doing its due diligence?
I want to say the second one because it seems like I never watched it. From what I saw, production was great on the show. Like the quality was good. They just did whatever they wanted with the story. Like, honestly, if you're going to do the Fall of Reach, which, if I'm correct, Chief basically had nothing to do with, you could have done either a spin-off, OVA, something for Noble Team. You could have introduced other characters. You could have tackled a lot. And every time I saw the response, it's like, grade A production, F+ story. It was getting the Last of Us 2 treatment.
I mean, I'm the same way. I'm still a Halo fan, still a big Halo fan. Was excited when I first heard news of the series. As I told Joe begrudgingly, I didn't make it past episode 5 of the first series. I was like, that's it. I'm done pulling the ripcord. Of course, Hellspawn Cosplay tried to convince me to watch the second season, saying second season was better. Second season was better because either they listened to the fans or somebody up high got in their ear. But I could see why it wasn't enough. You had one half-decent season followed by a good second season. It wasn't enough to do a third season just because, again, you strayed far. Even when you did the Fall of Reach, you guys took liberties with that story. Even though there are 5 video games, books that you could have easily gotten your lore from and decided not to. So I can understand why Halo was canceled. It's sad that it's canceled because we've seen what happens when Netflix gets a hold of One Piece. Sorry, Kira. But even we see that One Piece can be done properly if given the right casting, if given the right directors, if given the writers who actually read the mangas, and you actually have the guy who wrote the manga to sign off on it. So we can see what happens when all those things are put together, and at the same time, you have a great show. Halo could have done that. And I'm not trying to knock Microsoft. I'm not trying to knock 343 Industries. I'm not trying to knock those guys. But somewhere along the line, someone should have sat there and said, hey, why don't we sit down, play Halo 1 through 5, and actually get an idea of this? I mean, you could play Infinite too, but Infinite doesn't really give you much of a story, but I digress. But we can see why it failed. But like I said, I'm just not surprised. But guys, anything more you want to add to that?
I'm so glad we don't have a soundboard for this show. I'd be mashing that Bender laugh button on a constant basis this entire conversation. The show just flat out sucked. The dude didn't look anything like Chief. Chief in the books was black. He wasn't some generic Commander Shepard default character. He had no plucky teenage sidekick to company throughout his adventures. The show just blew, and it was a piece of garbage.
Yeah, but it could have been better. I mean, even the guy who voices Master Chief was right there. The guy who voiced Master Chief from the video games. And you took the helmet off.
So I can fight this.
I don't want to go into that rant, but it's just like,
can't be a cult. One Piece cannot be a cult because we don't believe Luffy was birthed by God himself. We actually meet one of his parents in the manga.
I'm just gonna put it this way, Joe. That Kira's gonna die on that hill. That's her thing. She's gonna die on it. I leave between you and her. But yeah, it's just
sad. About friendship on the sea. Fairy tales about friendship on the land.
Well, she still believes One Piece is a cult, so that's the part where you guys are going to be debating that one.
All manga fandoms are cults. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to pretend some of them aren't.
Severely.
When your opening conversation with somebody is, I've seen anime, and their opening salvo is, oh, have you seen Dragon Ball? That's a cult. Oh, have you seen One Piece? That's a cult.
I can't argue that because I've heard that from people. I've heard that from a few people.
People talk to poor women sometimes when they are like wearing an anime shirt. Who's stronger, Goku or what's the last show of Dragon Ball you ever? Is like, leave the poor person alone.
Oh, not before we go into the next trailer. What are you gonna say, Tafari?
I was gonna say apparently the worst people on the planet are Jujutsu Kaisen fans. They don't let you have a damn thing. Like
no.
If you meet them in the streets, don't ask questions, don't acknowledge the Gojo shirt.
No, My Hero Academia fans are so much worse.
No, they cry a lot. Jujutsu Kaisen fans they spoil the cult before you even join. It's like, hey, here's all the people that died. You like this person? Don't get attached.
No, the ones that cry a lot are the Demon Slayer fans.
Oh, wait. Not all of us. Hold on.
You literally have a character who only has two modes: cry or sleep.
Well, if that's the case, that's 3 of your 4.
Well, apparently he overcomes that apparently in his upcoming thing, so that's part of it. But it's just like,
And I still remember when that show was better and called Full Metal Alchemist.
Wait, are you talking? The original Full Metal Alchemist or Brotherhood?
It doesn't matter. There's still parallel stories. With one element very much taken out of both.
I mean, don't get me wrong, love them both. I kind of did like Brotherhood a little bit better, but that's just me.
You know what isn't a cult? That's a manga. Saint Seiya.
I'll give Saint Seiya that. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen fans are just spoiler heavy. Demon Slayer fans, no one listens to. And then Dr. Stone fans, we're just happy we got to see an ending. Same for Fire Force. But
we're finally getting a season 3 of Fire Force next year.
You know what? If the plan was to let them end next to Dr. Stone.
Hold on, Tafari. You started this, Kira. How did we stray so far from the shore? Because One Piece. You started this. I'm sorry, Tafari. Go ahead.
Look, if the goal was to start and stop both series together, because Stone and Fire Force started at the same time and they're both on their final seasons, I'm okay with that. But yeah, My Hero fans just cry a lot. Thankfully, it falls on deaf ears. They do make some weird choices from people outside of that staff, though. I don't understand.
It's just like I said. I'll put it this way: I can see the point to a certain extent, but at the same time, yeah, there are some really dedicated fans.
Everybody, the real cult we need to watch out for are the people that play Smash Brother Melee, because they just can't let go of the past.
So is Brawl considered like hearsay in fighting tournaments? Why does that one never get discussed?
That's a good question.
It doesn't have the glitches and the timing that people are used to from Melee, because they can't move on with their lives.
You ain't lying, because every time like Evo, which is currently going on right now, I'm pretty sure that's being argued somewhere on a message board. But we digress.
Either that or someone's getting hit by a dolphin from a small child going Totsugeki.
More than likely so. But speaking of things that we didn't ask for, because I gotta ask this, Terminator Zero.
Mechanics for moving.
Flip
Uh,
mechanics movie.
you
Yeah.
stand up and move left or right.
Yep. So I came across this guys for Netflix because apparently they love rehashing things. So you want another Terminator series? Well, this is an animated one called Terminator Zero.
Oh, this is actually happening.
This isn't what you think it is. You can't see it yet. But you've been on a collision course your entire life. There's no going back. Not really. It will never, ever stop. There's only one thing standing in between you and him. Me.
All right. So that was the trailer for Terminator Zero that comes out on Netflix, as you guys saw previously. Does come out August the 29th. Guys, your opinions on this, just from first looks, does it make you want to look into it? It looks like it's not going to be a rehash of the it doesn't look like it's going to be a rehash of the original origin story from Judgment Day. It looks like it's going to be a completely different story. I'm going to be honest, I'm willing to give it a shot, but what do you guys think?
I'm willing to check it out because I saw Production IG is on it, and that's who's been doing Terminator.
Yeah.
That's who's been doing a lot of the HD upscaling for the old school anime shows. Like Production IG did the whatchamacallit, the IGPX update. So it's at least being handled with love.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks good. But Joe, what do you think? You muted, Joe.
Microphone.
I'm down for it. The question I have is the elderly black man the young dude that was starting Skynet? Are we actually moving forward and continuing with his story?
That's what I was kind of looking into before it started. Because I thought the black guy was the guy who basically created Skynet. That let me just do a quick search on this before I say otherwise. But because I looked at that, let's see. Okay, so no. Oh, Malcolm Lee. Yeah, it is. So Malcolm,
okay,
what's
cool.
the guy named Malcolm Lee? The guy who creates
him back.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so I had to look it up real quickly. So basically, it's like let me try it again. It's a story that's going to be surrounding Malcolm Lee because apparently Skynet's already created in this timeline. He's creating a new AI system that's going to be competing with Skynet, and Skynet sees it as a threat. So that's where that story is going to go from this. So, I mean, from looking at it, I'm willing to give it a shot. I really am. I don't want to sit through 80 commercials. And really, and I knew that was coming. I don't want to sit through 80 trailers.
Stop him.
Will is on one tonight. I'll give him that. But it sounds like from everybody's standpoint, it just seems like I can't find anything negative to say about it. Because I thought it was going to be a rehashing. I thought it was going to be a how you're going to fit this in with the other six other Terminator movies out there. So I'm not complaining, but again, I can't find any fault with it. I'm willing to give it a shot. But anything else you guys want to add to it?
You know what it is? People have trust issues with beautiful animation and robots because of Ninja Kamui. That's what happened.
You know, Ninja Kamui wasn't. Okay, really quick. I thought it was great. It ended the way it was supposed to end, so I couldn't find the problem with it.
I think some people they were very over how we went from slightly hands and magic to a lot of the cybernetic robot Afro Samurai movie #2 stuff. By the time it was over, I saw some people were just like, yeah, this is not. It lost a lot of the hype, I guess, it built in those first 3 episodes.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. The first 3 episodes where it was just him and the mask, don't get me wrong. It was cool. Fight scenes were great and things of that nature. Like I said, I couldn't find any fault with it. It had to go the way it was, and especially since they're coming out with a sequel, which I was like, okay, so I'm kind of curious to see where it goes from there, considering how the first one ended. But again, if you haven't had a chance to see Ninja Kamui, really should. I mean, I didn't hate the ending. I actually liked the ending. Could be a telling of the original timeline before the first movie. Could. I'm just like Lainey said, like Lainey Geek by Heart said, I am tired of them trying to fit a movie within the current timeline. You don't have to do that. You really don't. You can go original. You can sit there and say Skynet was threatened by somebody. I am fine with that. At least it's a different story. Ninja Kamui fell off harder than Carrie Hilson. Damn. Really?
Everybody, all the AIs just want to be Xana from Code Lyoko, which has been getting trashed lately, and I don't like the slander.
I just Code Lyoko when Cleo Thomas sat there and said, he sat there and fired shots after that. He's like,
and then got jumped by all 3 of his younger siblings correctly.
Dang, but still. But also another thing we want to show, again, for Overwatch 2, it seems that they're having a collaboration with Transformers. Again, I haven't played Overwatch 2 in a very long time, but the trailer looks cool, and again, we want to show it in its entirety. You know, I may actually go back and play Overwatch. That's actually not, if those are the skins, if it's going to be in that format, I'll give it a shot. What do you guys think?
Somebody posted this without the Overwatch logos, and I thought they had like a new show coming out. So, highs and lows.
You know what? I might actually re-download Overwatch 2 and actually see if the skins are worth it. I mean, they might be, personally. But yeah, I'm down to give it a shot. And thank you. Can we just get Transformers show in this style of the trailer? Yeah.
At this point, because I get it. So Bumblebee is Bastion. One of them, I think, is Doomfist.
Yeah.
I don't know all the characters by name, but I know the guy with the hammer is Optimus. I think Genji is Megatron.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, didn't it?
That's an Anitra, which makes it super weird that it's an Anitra. I would have put Junkrat as Megatron.
Also would work. But that's gonna be interesting though. I mean, it's available now. I'm gonna have to go re-download Overwatch 2 on the PS5 and actually see how it looks. I'm quite curious about that. But before we get on to Sonic, because I know Tafari wants to talk about that. Joe, you had Rama that was coming up. Before we play a trailer, do you want to give an explanation on this one or just let it play?
We'll just let it play because there's no possible. If you don't know what Ranma 1/2 is and you're listening to us, why even bother?
Damn. All right.
俺無差別格闘早乙女流2代目早乙女ランマ天道道場の茜は親同士が決めたいい名付け。
勝手に決めないでよ。男なんて大嫌いよ。
おめえ青いパンツ似合わねえ。
いっぺん死んでこい。そしてランマにはある悩みがあって、水をかぶると女に変身しちまうんだ。
我が息子ながら何度見ても君をキテレツ摩訶不思議。
そっちこそ君をキテレツだろ。
早乙女君待ちかねた。
朝ごはんですよ。裸でうろうろされちゃ迷惑なのよ。何を変態。何するんだよ茜。頑張ろバカ。
本当おめえは可愛くねえな。
ランマ
ランマ
ランマくん。
ランマ君ランマ
ランマちゃん。ランマ2分の1。
10月放送開始。
待ってランマ。
ちょ茜ワンセントやべ。
I have so many questions. I have so many questions.
I have many answers.
I've got nothing. Joe.
I got wow. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
But what do you want to know? Aside from that, the entire original cast has come back to reprise the role in the update.
No, I'm just like, so as of course, Mayhem with the first thing he sees. Rama's female form looks a bit more purple hair than redhead. So I'm gonna be honest, that's unique. That's my first time seeing that. So that
I thought I was under the impression everybody knew what Ranma was. That's why I didn't want to.
I know the name, but I've never actually watched.
Okay, so this is a martial arts comedy anime where people who have trained in China in a mythical spring, where it's called the Hot Springs of the Lost. I'm paraphrasing this. So if they fall into a hot spring, they will become whatever died in that hot spring when doused with hot or cold water. So Ramen falls into the hot spring of the Lost Maiden. So whenever he hits cold water, he becomes Rama-chan, which is the female version. His father fell into the hot spring of the Lost Pandas. Whenever he gets soaked with cold water, he turns into a giant panda. So Rama's dad puts him in arranged marriage with Akane because the two dads are best friends. And they want each other's martial arts style to go forward with their kids. But Akane doesn't like men. Not saying she's lesbian, she just despises men because she thinks all of them are lechers and perverts because every single man in the entire high school is constantly after her because she's like the prettiest girl in school.
Okay.
And Ranma is just unfortunately along for the ride, and you meet lifelong characters like Shampoo, who turns into a cat, Ryoga, who has a worse sense of direction than Zoro, turns into P-chan, which is ironically Akane's pet pig, and further things in the anime. It's a martial arts comedy anime.
Gotcha.
It's just like the hots make it hot and the colds make it cold.
I just find it interesting that it's all dealing with water. Like, as long as it's cold, if it's cold water, the transformations happen. That's why I'm
Let me just put it to you this way. It's a much saner version of Turbo Team.
It's like it gives me like kung fu version of like Tenchi Muyo.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Now,
there's not that large of a harem in this one. Like, there are certain characters that like both characters both ways. It's Rumiko Takahashi's first manga after Urusei Yatsura. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just sticking to characters and it's a long story. Fair enough. I'll give it a shot. I may have to ask Joe where I can watch that and actually give that a shot. It does look interesting.
Netflix.
So that's Netflix.
Netflix in October.
Cool. So definitely do that. But for half our production, because again, BlurCon did happen last weekend. Of course, Tafari and others that are in this, that are actually watching this, all got to be there to enjoy it, to collaborate, have fun, things of that nature. Which Tafari also, while he was gone, because we know he's the biggest Sonic Shadow fan I know. We did actually have news that did come out last week. We wanted to wait till he was back because we wanted his opinion on this, but what are you gonna say, Tafari?
Oh, no, I was pointing at the movie poster I stole behind me.
Yeah. So we do got some information. They are coming out with the Dark Beginnings anime, which again will be coming out very soon. But Sonic Shadow Generations, they did actually come out with another trailer to show the differences from the stages that are very familiar if you played Sonic, any Sonic or Shadow game. But here's the trailer. I'll be honest, that is a lot of improvement. As you can see, guys, that they did show Sonic Shadow Generations, which will come out if you do pre-order or get it 3 days early on October 22nd. You see what you get if you do pre-order with the skill points, the extra background music pack, and digital art book, and get the Sonic Adventure Legacy skins. Of course, you can see it is for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and Steam, and also in the Epic Store. So, Tafari, is it worth it being a Sonic fan, or is this like, wait for it situation?
No, I think they've done a good job because, like, you completely forget Sonic is even in this game with how much they're pushing Shadow. But they, it's nice to see that they're at least acknowledging Sonic 06 and what it could have been, and why they won't just remake the damn game and let it get its full potential. I don't understand.
Right.
But yeah, but tributes to levels like Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes. I think there's some Shadow the Hedgehog stuff in there too. I'm curious to see what the story is going to be, especially with the movie coming out 2 months after this, and we just got done with the Knuckles series. It's nice to see that. I don't know what the skin is. I think that's supposed to be from Sonic. What was it? Not Rivals. What was the one that everyone played and nobody liked? Forces. That's what it was. I think that's supposed to be from Sonic Forces. Nobody.
I think you meant Forces or Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, I think it's Forces because that no one talks about Forces, but for Sonic and Shadow fans, it's a nice precursor to the finale of this entire year of Shadow before the movie comes out. Which dropped the trailer, you cowards.
What you would think so, but no. Joe, any thoughts you want to add to that? Outside of that's how we go fast in 3D.
I mean, it's true. Grinding rails is how we go fast in 3D.
I keep waiting for it.
I'm looking forward to it. So the Generations has always been a solid game. I can't imagine this being anything but. Shadow will add more layers to it. Unless he's the version of Shadow with an Uzi, because that's who he is. I mean, that's really all I got on this one. Because, I mean, like I said, it's a straightforward, fun Sonic game. We're just getting an additional content with Shadow to make it an even more solid, straightforward, fun game.
Did they say that's what this is? It's just Generations with a Shadow story on top of it?
That's what I think so.
We've seen almost none of the Sonic game side of this, and I'm wondering if that's why. And if so many people are going to get this and just skip the Sonic half altogether.
Yeah.
I think they're really pushing Shadow because of the movie, too. So
that too. We haven't heard the voice, I think. Imagine it's Hayden Christensen in this game. Or Keanu Reeves.
It should be cool, though.
Johnny Silverhawk.
Apparently, it comes with a reversible cover too. If you pick up a copy.
Yes. Please, also, that's also what you say. Please stay with the physical. They are trying their hardest. They're trying their hardest to make everybody go digital. Please, if you can, stick with the physical. You'll be so much better off. Because again, you don't want to be stuck with the fact that nothing will play on your PlayStation or Xbox unless you have an internet connection. I'm just saying. But a couple more trailers, guys, that we have before we get to our other reviews. This one again, it's Beetlejuice. Let's be honest. Again, it's also the I won't say it's the final trailer, but it's the second trailer that came out for Beetlejuice. And again, if you haven't seen this, you're gonna like a lot of nostalgia, and we're gonna hold our thoughts till afterwards.
When you're all driving carpool and banging your Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life, we'll see who gets the last laugh.
My mom grew up here. That old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately.
She's a legend.
The living, the dead. Can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
Ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I need you to help me save my daughter. But how do I know that you're going to keep your word?
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Yes. Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. Let's go, honey. Recognize this post. Never seen that chick before in my life or afterlife.
Are we doing this?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
Swear the afterlife is so random.
Did I think from my dream? Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
Beetlejuice!
What the Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now we'd like a little privacy.
And this is why I sit there and say I have complete and absolute faith in this movie. What do you guys think?
Man, Tim Burton knows what he's doing. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Joe?
Where's the monster from down the lane? Where's Jacques the weightlifting skeleton? I was promised more Beetlejuice characters.
Well, I mean, you're not going to get everything in the trailers. I mean, didn't we just sit there and talk about Deadpool and everything? We can't.
They probably have more to reveal, once the
I'm like, it's just the second trailer, but
or they'll do a Deadpool and give you all of it in the final trailer.
Right. They might do that too, but no. Again, Tim Burton knocked out of the park. It's like watching the original and a little bit of the cartoon, a cartoon series, and I'm digging it. I hope the musical number's good. That's all I hope for, because you better have a kick-ass musical number in this like you had in the original. It doesn't got to be over the top. I'm just saying. Thank you, Mr. Final Max. The trailer did not have to go that hard to sell me. Right. It really didn't have to, but at the same time, I'm digging it. I got no other words I can say to that except I'm digging it. But as you know, like we said, guys, September 6th, again, not too far off from now. Oh God, we're almost to we're already past the midway point of this year and almost to the end.
I wonder who the main bad guy in this movie is, because it's clear it's not Beetlejuice in this trailer.
No, it's the woman that's stapled up. I can't think of her name. I can't think of the actress who plays her.
I know it too, and I can't think of it. I was trying to get it the entire time.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me. It's like I don't know that actress's name, but I've seen her in. She's also the same woman that played in the Matrix Revolutions. She was the guy's wife. What's the guy's name? Damn it. The one that anyway, you probably, like I said, we gotta do better about coming up with names. But no. Monica Bellucci, there we go. Damn, that's why I couldn't think of her name. But no, I think she's gonna wind up being the villain. I don't know where she comes from, but apparently she's got some connection to Beetlejuice. But I'm looking forward to it. That's about the best I could say it. And it looks like we got nobody disagrees so far in the chat. So good for that. But before we get to Tafari's first experience to Ultraman, Alien Romulus dropped another trailer, their final trailer, if you believe it, which was kind of odd considering the fact that their movie, I'm trying to think when that movie comes out. I want to say August 16th. So I think it's August 16th. But yeah, being that it's the final trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer for Alien Romulus, here it is. Again, I know I shouldn't say this, but it's an Aliens trailer. You already know it's going to be graphic.
Are you sure you want to do this?
There she is.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Romulus Space Station.
This place gives me the creeps.
What the hell is this?
I don't know.
What the fuck was that? Yo!
Stop playing around, man. Just get up.
I'm not playing around. There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the water?
No, there's just something in the fucking water. Run.
Are you alright?
Tomorrow. I don't know what to do.
Whatever comes, we'll face it together.
Let's go.
Impact event in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so that was a trailer for Alien Romulus. Does come out August the 16th. Fellas, I wish I had two of our other friends in here. I know Will's watching right now. Will, you're usually the audio file on this, so I really want your opinion because the sound, to me, the sound makes the trailer. And Lainey, if you're still watching this, I know you're into horror movies. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be up your alley. But guys, does this make you want to watch it, or does this make you want to wait on it?
First off, for August, damn, Borderlands, fight back. Like y'all are in there somewhere too, but for this, they have it. I know it was for the trailer, but if they get as gross as they possibly can with the sound for Homegirl's ribs cracking, and we're watching it happen in real time with that's this could be something for the audiophile fans. I do like what we've seen so far, though. I hope it's not the limited cast of strangers that we get. Also, why is it like this sun doesn't exist in an Aliens movie ever? Like, it's always, even if they're in society, it's always some dark and dank planet, and just they never get like a ray of sunshine at all.
I'm gonna be honest. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is Dead Space."
A little bit.
It had Dead Space vibes to me. It also kind of had, if you put "Don't Breathe" in space. It's literally the same aspect. The whole thing about it's not, to me, just visual, but it's sound. And I think that was the whole point of this trailer. The whole point, I hope that's going to be the driving force behind this movie. Because, yes, it's going to be graphic. Yes, it's going to be everything we know it's going to be an Aliens movie. But the sound, that was the one thing I think is missing from a lot of these alien movies, if you think about it. Because, like Extraction was all about sound. Don't make it. It can't hear you. So it gives that aspect of it. But Joe, what do you think?
Well, I applaud them for using part of the one of the original scripts of Alien 3, where it's the space station that's gone to crap. There is a free audiobook with Michael Biehn and the guy that plays Bishop doing an audiobook about that exact script. So they adapted that. Seems like they're kind of doing that because it's a space station. I wonder if it's Seegson space station from like Alien Isolation, because I'm fairly certain we got to see a working Joe or some sort of inactive synthetic for a hot second of the opening of the trailer. As to why there's no sun, because it always sets right before everything goes down. Because remember, Newt says, they mostly come out at night.
Yeah, it's true. I come with completely about that.
That's too many face huggers for me to be comfortable with, but I'm still gonna
like they do trip damage now.
I'm like, face huggers weren't uber aggressive.
Like, why did I appreciate that, because that's always been a thing. Like, why don't y'all just turn away? Now that we know, like, okay, they do like grip and claw at you.
And will insert themselves into you. I mean, I think that was missing for a lot of the Alien movies, because we kept on wondering how, with facehuggers coming at you, duck or turn your head, close your mouth. When you see it up close and personal, it's like, okay, I see the struggle now, because that facehugger was determined. But
well, I mean, it's supposed to be choking you out to where you can't breathe or move.
Yeah,
with the tail around the throat. The one that pulls it out, pulls it out of his mouth, that dude's a synthetic. Like, that is the only way you can do it. That is like the only reason that can happen. Is
I'm convinced the black guy. I'm convinced the black.
Oh no, it's definitely the black guy's synthetic, but the other dude's got something going on, because like, we're gonna play the alien lore card here. Humans do not have that kind of physical strength to remove a facehugger from their face like that. Like, they just don't.
Have they like stated how strong they actually are? Like,
yes, multiple times.
Okay, because even as small as they are, I'm like, how is this freshly hatched creature able to trip a grown human being? Even then, you're gonna have to do it like 5 other times. I'm standing back up. Like, it's just, I will just have to step on and it can traverse. These are the cuckoo birds of aliens. Like, what the heck?
Right.
Like, they're just instinctively born to do evil shit.
Yes.
True.
I do want to see the Queen. I want to see what pulled him up, because I wasn't so sure that was a xenomorph or a normal Queen. I hope to God we haven't gotten into like goofy territory, like the hybrid born or whatever again.
We might be seeing a different version, but I guess we can find out come August the 16th. But again, another trailer where sound makes a big ass difference. But speaking of things, because I want to do this a little bit, because I know on Show Guy Joe, I know Joe's already got this posted as he's watching Ultraman Arc with Tafari. But I wanted to bring it here. At the same time, I wanted you guys to, especially Tafari, because I know this is your first time watching anything Ultraman. So while this is playing, guys, I did want to know, Tafari, what was your opinion of watching Ultraman? Watching Ultraman Arc, I should say.
It's interesting. It's basically like the Japanese version of what we got with Power Rangers, just mostly the powers belong to one guy. And then we've also got our Zordon with this blue helper robot who can dislocate itself at a moment's notice. Buddy with the briefcase and the glasses, though, I am wary of. For some reason, I don't trust him.
Why is that?
Yeah. He's the real life Uryu from Bleach over here just has been rubbing me the wrong way for the last 2 episodes.
He may actually be the actual Uryu from the Bleach movie. They are not above using same actors. He may legit be.
He does look like Uryu though. But what else do you think, Tafari?
I like it. I like that they have a theme for the monsters. The last one, I guess, being like the Protect the Forest Tree Hugger monster was okay. Design was a little weird. I'm also learning about the trope of these annoying ass little kids who cause problems, thanks to Joe.
I taught him what a Kenny was.
Gotcha.
I've learned we don't like Kennys, and that'll probably be the only time, hopefully the only time we see one, because it's just like, unless you have like full custody for the summer, why is this kid even here in a construction site every day?
Pretty much. But no, it did. But it says Ultraman does kind of have a Power Rangers feel to it. I mean, I love it. But yeah, I know you guys are watching. Y'all got to review episode 1 and 2 so far, right?
Yeah. Yep. They did some first person stuff with the last episode. It was pretty cool. So you saw the fight from Ultraman and the monster's perspective. So they seems that they do like an interesting camera trick every time. So that's cool to look forward to.
Cool. See, as I'm gonna say, Ultraman is still fun to watch, but
I love the fact that he Care Bear stares the change device out of his heart. Like if you see him transform it just like he does the thing and then literally Care Bear stares it out of himself. It's the best thing ever. It's also just a really cool henshin device, but like it's great. I love that the sword is his eyes and he's got to use the sword to make the laser beam on his head work.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, we're going to be getting form changes because, like, the writer for this dude wrote Ultraman X, which was very, very much a let's give Ultraman armor and monster-based weapons. So they're going to be doing that for this season. Okay. I know we get fire power suit and a sky power suit pretty soon, but I don't know anything beyond that because that's what's in the toys. Next week we get to see a classic Ultraman monster, a variant on Zeton, which is one of the few monsters that can kill Ultraman and has killed Ultraman before. So that'll be something to see. I'm looking forward to it. Tafari's been fantastic and wonderful to do this stuff with. So
cool. But you can definitely also catch us on Show a Guy Joe. Again, like I said before, we love introducing things. We love introducing things, especially our own people, to things they never watched before. And as long as you give it a shot, that's always been the big thing. Give things a shot and just see if you like it or not. Usually no harm, no foul out of it. But again,
I'm not going to steer somebody wrong. It's not like I'm going to make them watch Mystic Knights of Tirnanog or Big Bad Beetleborgs or Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Why would you?
I'm going to give them the good stuff.
You know the messed up part about that is somewhere there's a DVD collection for Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, and it's probably sold out.
And one for Beetleborgs, but still no, and for VR Troopers, but they won't put out Mystic Knights of Tirnanog.
But VR Troopers was actually good. But Mystic Knights of Tirnanog, oh, good God. That was...
Look, it's not our fault. The only black guy's action figure was a white dude.
I'm just saying.
No, that actually happened. So Ivar is the one black guy in Mystic Knights of Cyrano. He comes from a far off land. Not quite Africa. And he's the water dude. But when they released his action figure, they painted it white. Because the toy manufacturer thought it was all white Irish dudes, because this takes place like mostly in Ireland, Scotland, and the UK. Like everything's the UK. It was hilarious like that. Oh my god. It was
Mystic Knights of Cyrano. Just
their fifth ranger was the Wood Ranger.
Yeah, that tells you everything you want to know. It's still funny. Also, really quickly before we go into our reviews for the Acolyte and the Boys and Elspeth Bustle, the First Descendant. I'm just going to play it here. Because again, the trailer's been played multiple times. But if you've seen the First Descendant, guys, you will not be disappointed. It is a looter shooter that's available to play right now. I'm currently playing it on the PS5. Kind of been about an hour into it. First off, beautifully well done. Warframe type design. As far as if you play Warframe, you know it's smooth, it's sleek, it's beautiful. It is a looter shooter. They do give you a nice little tutorial to start out with, but at the same time, I can't find any faults with it. It is network online playable. It is free to play right now, but let's be honest, when it's free to play, that means other things are coming along that you will have to buy if you choose to customize your character. But so far, the story is great. You do have 3 different classes you can pick from. I'm not going to really go into that, but I will say this. If you were on the fence about the First Descendant, you really shouldn't be. If you do have a PS5 or you have a PC, you can download it now from Steam or from PlayStation and really give it a shot because, like I said, worth playing. Once I get a little bit more into it, I'll give more of an in-depth review. But at the same time, if you were on the fence with the First Descendant, you actually should give this a shot. You will not be disappointed. But moving right along, guys, we got to talk about. Well, let's before we go. We'll leave the boys last because there's no other. That's gonna take a while. But I gotta thank Joe for this one because Joe brought this up, and I have to go back and go watch Ultimate Muscle. But if you are watching on Netflix, there is an Ultimate Muscle Perfect Origin Story. Now, there are 2 episodes out there right now. These are what we call catch-up episodes. Me and Joe were talking about before the show started. If you remember Ultimate Muscle, there is no way on God's green earth they can catch you. They can literally tell the entire story. So you do get 2 episodes as more of a catch-up story as to where it is now. But Joe, do you want to explain exactly what the Perfect Origin Story is and where Netflix is going with it?
Okay, so the original Kaneko Man started as an Ultraman parody that eventually became pro wrestling. Because of its nature of pro wrestling, it cannot be retold or shown on television anymore because, like, Kaneko Man, the main dude here, fights literally Dusty Rhodes and the Funk Brothers and Great Chief Peter Maivia, and no one asked for permission. There's also some unpleasant imagery involving one of the German wrestlers and other depictions of other characters that slowly became more positive as the show continues on. That ended, and then in 2011 they picked up the story with the Perfect Chojin arc, the True Perfect Chojin arc. So this continues after the Super Throne battle between Kaneko Man and Kaneko Man Super Phoenix. And this is what we're getting now. We do have Ultimate Kaneko Man Nisei, which is Kaneko Man 2, which everybody knows as the Fox Kids Ultimate Muscle series. This takes place before that. This takes place right after King Muscle gets married, and the story will slowly face around Terry Man and the rest of them as they take on the True Perfect Chojin or True Perfect Bad Guy Wrestlers. I don't know what they're calling them in English anymore. But the True Perfect Chojin. And this is the animated adaptation. This is the longest arc for the Kaneko Man series. What really got me on this one is This is much like classic anime, which means lots of cursing, lots of blood, and they kept it in, and with some mild nudity. So you're gonna see some butts. There's gonna be some fart jokes, but they kept it pretty true to original fashion. So episode 0 is a complete catch up of the original series. Gets you through everything, gives you the highlights. Episode 1 starts the arc. It's already out now on Netflix. There is no dub; it's sub only. I love it. But
I'm with you. That to me, because I watched Ultimate Muscle, many years ago. So I'm really curious to see about this Perfect Origin arc. I'm definitely going to keep up with it. Tafari, have you had a chance to check out the first 2 episodes?
I didn't know Ultimate Muscle was back. I do remember the original show on 4Kids, which Discotheque Media, they also put all of that out on DVD and Blu-ray. So these forbidden factors that we shouldn't apparently were out back then are probably on that disc. If you want to go pick that up.
No. This is the original 80s series we're talking about. We're not talking about this.
Okay.
No, not that.
So Kid Muscle is not even alive in this series.
Right.
This is before Kid Muscle. For those unaware in the wrestling that are wrestling fans, Samoa Joe's Muscle Buster was where this came from.
As far as
we already covered the Ranma trailer.
Yeah, I think it might be catching up depending on which stream you're following. So he might be catching up. But what are you gonna say, Joe?
Samoa Joe's finishing move, the Muscle Buster, that is the Kaniku Buster, which is also Muscle Buster. Kaniku is Japanese for muscle. So Samoa Joe got his finishing move from this TV series. He just doesn't do it the same way.
Yeah. No, you're good.
You're good.
We're talking about the anime that we just got to be talking about. That's for Ultimate Muscle, Perfect Origin Story on Netflix. So this is basically, if you remember Ultimate Muscle, again, this is the 80s that we're talking about, not the 99, 2000 Kid Muscle story.
Early 2000s.
So, early 2000s. So we're not talking that story, but again, still a good one because in the 80s, they got away with a whole lot of crap. Like Joe was saying, we have to be very cute in how we describe it because there was some things that
find it through ways. By all means, watch it. It is fun to watch, but you will have to look at certain imagery and be exposed to very obvious stereotypes. For a good bit.
Understand at the time.
Let's just say Brocken Jr. is not your problem with the way he's dressed. It's Brocken Sr. that's the problem.
Pretty much. As we say at the time with Blazing Saddles, you have to understand it was okay at the time. It was okay at the time. You can't do it now. It was okay at the time. But yeah. We're definitely gonna keep up with that.
Saddles is okay now.
Huh?
I think Blazing Saddles is okay now.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no. Put that in a revival thing. That'll be one of the highest paid movies in the week.
Even some of the DVD imagery for Blazing Saddles is very much
yeah. You couldn't do any, just really quick, you couldn't do anything from Blazing Saddles right now. I mean, you see what happened with Mel Brooks in History of the World. That's all I'm gonna say. You can get, I mean, we're barely getting Spaceballs. We're getting a Spaceballs sequel, and if you think it's gonna be the search for more money, it will. But half the stuff that they got away with back then, yeah, they're not getting away with it now. I'm just gonna be honest. But we're definitely gonna cover Ultimate Muscle, Perfect Origin as it releases because Netflix has gotten bougie now, because they're not gonna release everything as a whole. So boo-hoo. That being said, we're gonna start with. Oh, say what, Joe? I
see that as a good thing. These people have to keep coming back.
That's the thing.
And you maintain your subscribers.
I see the positive in that, but you started off with binge watching for so long that it became a thing. So, but I see your point though. But we got to get to this because Star Wars: The Acolytes. It did wrap up its first season. If there is going to be a second one, no word on that. I came into this eyes wide open. My Star Wars knowledge, unfortunately, is not very extensive. So I went into this completely a newbie. But after 8 episodes, guys, was it 8 or 6? I think it was 8.
It was 8.
8.
It was 8. Okay. So after 8 episodes, I'm going to put this out to guys, to the people in the chat too, because I know you guys got opinions. This was a different foretelling of the Force. I'm gonna start with Safari first. Did Acolyte live up to the hype, or was it a question mark?
A little bit of a question mark because I still don't know what the hell an Acolyte is, and I wasn't sure if that's what Quamir was trying to make his apprentice out to be, or if that's what they are as of their birth. It kept opening up questions. It created a lot more questions than it answered every episode. And I kind of picked up on the pacing like 3 episodes in. It's action, backstory, rinse, repeat. I'm curious what next season's promo art is going to be like because we pretty much got rid of everybody on this poster.
Pretty much.
Minus the twins. I kind of wanted Yord and Jecki to play a bigger role than they got to because we literally threw them away one episode and just never revisited them at all.
Right. I'm the same way. Like I said, I came to this, loved the first 3 episodes. Don't get me wrong, grabbed my attention. The fight choreography was great because it didn't always depend on lightsabers. You actually had some hand-to-hand combat being done. It was just the story. And again, it's gonna go into spoiler territory, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The whole thing about the Night Sisters, I get it. And then you come to find out that the twins are really the same person, just 2 different personalities. And at the same time, you get Smilo Ren that's in the top right-hand corner over there, who doesn't consider himself a Sith. So you really had a lot of different sub-stories going out there. But after going into 4 and 5 and 6, 7, and 8, it just felt like it got lost. Like I'm gonna be honest. It just felt like it got lost. Like it's like I see a guy who acts like a Sith, and then is told, well, you guys would refer to you guys would refer to me as a Sith. So you got that. Oh, you're good, Kira. Just make sure she's all right. But no, it's the fact that you got a guy who, again, I call him Smilo Ren because of the helmet, acts like a Sith, but really he's more of a liberator. And then thanks to Kira and thanks to Lainey in our Blurred's Eye View podcast, the guy that was hiding in the freaking corner is Darth Plagueis.
When I tell you, I was looking for plot points. I watched the screen. I missed every cameo. I didn't see Plagueis. I didn't see Yoda.
Because
Yoda was very apparent.
The back of the head.
I was so thrown by the fact that, damn, you created that cover story at the site of your best friend's corpse. You waited. You hesitated. I was so enthralled with that I swear I didn't register. I might have looked away because when they just showed her coming down the hallway, I'm like, well, this is a pointless shot. And I swear I don't remember the rest of that scene being Yoda's head.
It's just, that was the part. Well, that's the second thing that bothered me. But it's like, so Darth Plagueis is hiding. And if I remember the story correctly, he's supposed to be hunting somebody. So that's a whole different story in itself. But it's like there were so many open-ended areas. And then you get to Yoda, who literally you see the back of the head, and that's it. And I'm just thinking to myself, the twins go into hiding.
I'm a little lost. Where's Darth Plagueis in all this?
So Darth Plagueis is on the planet, like the planet that they're on right now. All you see is this cave. You see this cave. You see this dark figure in a hood, and he's literally hiding. And I kept thinking to myself, what if he's Darth Plagueis? So back on Blurred's Eye View, just yesterday, we talked about this, and two of the people there that I know that know Star Wars better than I do, both sat there and said that was supposed to be Darth Plagueis, who literally is the guy that can cheat death. Supposedly, the one Sith that can cheat death. And I'm just like, why wasn't more attention given to this part versus the other side? So that's why I'm sitting there saying it's just the whole entire thing just seemed to be just once we got past episode 4, it just seemed to be just taking a dartboard and just going, this will stick, this will stick, this will stick. But really, none of it did. So it makes me wonder if the Acolyte's going to be a one shot or if it is going to get a season 2. Because right now, that's a good question.
Well, I mean, Quamir can't be counted as a true Sith because that's why he was talking about the rule of 2.
Yeah.
He needs an apprentice to become an official Sith Lord, which is
True.
why it's called Acolyte, because we need to see who becomes his apprentice. As to the Plagueis thing, I'll go back and watch that. I didn't see one dude.
Right, I feel like I
dead,
remember.
That is the dark. Oh, go ahead, Jafari.
I remember seeing the cave. I swear I don't remember seeing anyone step out of it.
I don't see anybody in that cave.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't step out. It literally zooms in, so he doesn't step out. It's like a quick 3 seconds. Like you'll see
that's the same cave Ray went into, because that's supposed to be the dark side nexus on that island that Luke's inhabiting.
Right. So yeah, you only see him for a quick 3 seconds. That's why I was saying, like, unless you're paying attention, you blink and it's gone. But
also, it can't be Plagueis, because if Plagueis is on that world, then no life of any kind can be on that world, because that's how Plagueis survives. He literally drains all forms of life energy completely from the planet. It's even described in the books that the world is basically a blank spot that feels naked in the force. Like it's just like poking at a numb spot. You just don't feel it. You feel it, but there's no feeling to it.
But that's what I'm getting at, though. It's like there's so many. That's why I said on Lord's Eye View, and I say it here. There were so many questions. Like it didn't feel like a complete season. It felt just like
There's so many plot holes.
Yeah.
Like May straight out lying to Ocean in the final episode. It's like, oh, how'd you get out here? Oh, I fell in here. It's like, so is Mother Hosen dead? Because she's still alive, and they dropped that plot like a while ago.
That's my point. So it's like don't get me wrong. I want these stories in Star Wars to be told, but at the same time, you have to make them to the point to where you're going to keep people involved. You're going to keep people not involved, interested is the word I'm looking for. But when you don't have that, and every episode adds more questions, it does make you wonder: is it worth watching? Should we? I mean, I'm not even gonna. I'm barely going to acknowledge the toxic fans on the other side saying Star Wars is woke. They were created by the Force and all this.
I always thought we were talking about the new controversy about the lightsaber crystal bleeding thing, and like that was shown so many times before in so many other series.
Yeah.
Which one was it? That anthology series that came out, that animated anthology series where all the Jedi go dark side and all their purple and orange lightsabers go red. And then once they calm down and chill out, all their sabers go back to normal.
Same thing happened in Survivor. Jedi Survivor showed it.
Jedi Survivor. Ahsoka's one became pure white because she was like, I'm not light side, I'm not dark side. I'm just kind of neutral.
Yeah,
not a great Jedi. She's just flat out neutral and everything. She just does not give a crap. That's why her sabers are white, because they can't take an identity. The Kyber can't take a light or dark side identity.
Right. So that's why I was saying it's just it. I hope it gets a second season. Like I said, it's too many.
I don't think it better script writers and script editors to make it a little bit tighter.
I hope so. But Tafari, anything you want to add to that?
I hope we get like a sister coven who maybe has a successful example of what the girls are supposed to be, because that I have no answers from that. I don't know why did stabbing her a smoke kill her? I thought she was going to get away scot-free.
She was mid-transformation.
Yeah.
Transformation into what though? That's the part that I'm just like.
I think she was going to reabsorb Kid May back into her. That way she could have more power than Soul at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Or move herself to May to like enhance May's ability. Because apparently May had less power than Ocean. Because we don't really see May do a lot of force stuff. She's more direct combat, but Osha had all the force power.
Okay.
But, you know, that's also the thing that they're bringing in is, like, not all Jedi and Sith powers are equal. Some of the old stuff was, like, I think it was... Oh, yeah, Kyle Katarn. He had a... He had crap telekinesis, but had better force sensitivity and locating skills, which is why he was a bounty hunter at first.
Yeah.
Plus, he was the first one to have an adjustable blade lightsaber. Because we actually did have a lightsaber whip this season, didn't we?
Yeah, she did.
So we saw for all of like 2.5 seconds.
I mean, that's new and never seen that. Plus, we had the hidden blade within the blade saber, which is also new. So, like, not all Jedi and all Sith have the same abilities.
True. But like I said, it's just, to me, we will see. Right now, there's no word on whether or not they are getting a season 2 because we do have Skeleton Crew and I think one more of the show. And also, eventually we had to go back and review The Bad Batch because The Bad Batch did have its final season. We didn't actually go over that. So sometime in the future, we will go back to The Bad Batch and give our review on the final season of that. But before we get to our comment pools, we do have one last review because, again, the season finale did drop. And in our chat, a lot of people are having some issues right now. I have been laughing like a madman because, again, I am talking about Amazon Prime The Boys, season 4's season finale. Again, Eric Kripke has his finger on the pulse when he wants to show a lot of what's going on currently in the world, and The Boys is currently reflecting that. To basically wrap this up with a pretty bow about season 4, damn. That's about the best way I could put that. The fact that the body count was a little high. We did lose some choice characters. And I'm trying to keep this. I'm trying not to go as spoiler full as I want to, because again, if you haven't seen it, you really should, because the ending of the season finale leads to what I hope they were going to do in the graphic novel. In the graphic novel, you'll see a picture of Billy Butcher, crowbar in hand, walking toward the White House with soups floating above it. No, go ahead.
No, just like I heard that they had to change a episode title at the last second.
Yes,
because of certain real life scenarios.
Wait, what was the title?
I heard this.
Yeah, the title of this would have been Assassination Run.
What does it change?
So, they had to change it to season 4 finale because originally it was Assassinate. It was originally the last episode was called Assassination Run. Then that little event happened over the weekend, and not only did they change the title name from Assassination Run to season 4 finale, they actually gave a disclaimer that anything that happened during this episode is fictional. We do not condone. Yeah, we don't condone violence. That whole thing to keep themselves from not being sued.
Yeah,
I like that they have to say they don't condone violence in the series called The Boys. It's
right.
Like, here's everything we've done. We don't condone any of it.
Right.
Like they put the disclaimer out for that, and Genevieve like, "Hey, this involves political violence." I feel like they already had that ready, and then they just had to go back and retype it because of what happened. It was like anything coincidental or similar, or anything similar is completely coincidental and not intended to imply anything, because we don't need y'all coming after us in real life.
Pretty much. But to sum this up, this season's been great. We were wondering what Butcher's power was. You know, the whole thing between him and seeing his wife and Kessler and realizing it's all in his head. And then, you know, his ability showed up. And then at the same time, He decided that he was going to basically go on his own, if you will. The thing that killed me though was Kimiko and Frenchie, because as Frenchie was basically getting glamorized by that one Gen V character, Kimiko was talking. Kimiko was vocalizing no, don't go the entire time. And if memory serves me right, she's never talked the entire series.
She's never talked. Yeah, we thought she lost her vocal cords the whole time. She's been too traumatized to speak, apparently.
Yeah. So we see them. We also see, and also Gen V. We're going to talk. I mean, it's hard not to talk about Gen V. We did see Gen V characters. We did see the Red River facility that Head Popper's daughter was going to. So we are going to see characters from Gen V in the final season of The Boys. I think old girl who controls blood is going to be a very key player in that.
I'm surprised we didn't see her at all. Like,
well, there's still.
We saw a commercial featuring her, but like,
yeah,
I thought she was going to be the key to stopping Victoria, and that plot just went completely out the window.
Right. At the same time, it's not only her, but the rest of those characters are. I mean, the rest of those characters from Gen V are still in that lockdown facility underground. So that's why I think they're sending old girl. They're sending the Head Popper's daughter to. At the same time, Sister Sage. If she did not come out the gate, and I'll be honest with you, I can't stand her character, but I love her character. She comes out the blue and Homelander thinks everything has gone to shit, and she's like, plan's working. I just couldn't tell you everything because, well, I knew you would mess it up. So there's some things I kept to myself. Got this man right next to the president in the White House. And therefore, this is why I'm glad, because again, just to give you guys a little bit of homework, if you really want to know, read the final 4 issues of The Boys. I want to say 4 or 5, one of the two. But if you ever do get to read the graphic novels, read the last 4 or 5. That's going to pretty much tell the in-game story. Because this is the reason why I was saying in our chat, you know, they are really going to do it.
Finally?
Say what?
Did they show the thing finally, or has that not happened yet?
Not yet. The next, I would have to assume, because they didn't show it in the final scene. They didn't show it in this final scene, which makes me think that we're going to see it next season, if not at the very beginning of next season. But it's setting up for that. And again, the whole idea of the White House, the soups being brought in and being a part of the army as actually super weapons, and that's what's going to set this whole thing up to where season 5, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, if you thought the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc was going to hurt you emotionally, it's going to make that look like a tissue paper. I'm going to be honest. Between that Infinity Castle arc and the Shibuya arc out of Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm going to be honest, this is probably going to blow us out the water. I'm just going to let you know. But Tafari, did you read the end of The Boys, haven't you? Or you already know what's going to happen?
Yeah, I saw the end, and everyone's saying we are officially at comic book butcher now.
Uh-huh.
You know, minus, I think he would have already off the whole team at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he would have already, in the comic books, Frenchie and Kimiko would already be dead.
And that was my thing. I feel like we could have came to that conclusion with these two within an episode. Like, that whole Colin story just felt forced. Like, if you were to tell me he was like the straw that broke the camel's back out of all the bad shit you did, but no, it's just this is the one crime you feel bad, and now you want to suddenly turn over a new leaf. And Kimiko just being deflective after, like, y'all literally created a whole language which we now know you didn't need to communicate.
Right.
It felt like they needed to drag this out to the last episode, but I'm like, y'all could have made them go run side quests for all I care. I thought Huey's mom was low-key imaginary the entire time. I thought she was a Temp V hallucination.
I thought he took it. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he took it too, because I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, Butcher took it, sees his dead wife, sees his dead best friend / partner. No one else acknowledges Huey's mom in the room.
And I felt like they were setting us up for that until the end. But and even his dad was suspicious because it's like he kept trying to call him,
Yeah.
and then suddenly ends up in a coma. And I feel like that. I hope there's more with that, and that wasn't just something we forgot about. Because his mom is super suspicious. For all I know, that could be a freaking Vought actor, for all we know.
Right.
He was one dose behind Butcher on Temp V, so if he was feeling side effects, I wouldn't be shocked. I was confused a little with the political thing. Was anyone even running against Kessler this whole season?
No.
Or was he just trying to get his own running mate assassinated?
He was basically because what he was he basically wanted to get Head Popper out the way because he felt like once he was sworn in as president, she was going to take him out and become president.
Okay, because that's what I was like. I saw the House voted unanimously. I'm like, did you have an opponent this whole season?
But shout out to Homelander for just outing old girl. He's like, you realize your vice president's a superhero, right?
That's what I was thinking. How strong are the bloodbenders in this show? Because between Gen V and her, how are y'all both surviving lasers like right to the face and heart?
That part. Well, I mean, surviving lasers, bullets to the head. I mean, the fact that she had to be torn into for her to die, that's saying a lot. But
some people think she might survive that too.
I wouldn't be surprised. And Stan is still out there.
When the girl got sent to the orphanage, I was like, where was Stan?
I'm guessing because he's not dead. He's out. He's out there in the world. So we're probably going to see. How
did Samir get away with one leg? Like you had enough time.
Real quick.
I was gonna say,
did you not lock the door? Like the dude's got a bleeding leg and like one good crutch. How did you let him get far enough away to escape?
I'm just saying, for that to be a panic, I guess because of the virus and Kamiko almost dying, I guess nobody really paid attention to a one-leg hopping man.
You had enough time to cut her leg off and chase him down and beat him with it. But it was like, yeah, he got away. I'm like, how? Literally follow whatever trail he left behind.
True. I mean, that is very true. But again, we will not see the boys, guys. I believe they said the final season is going to come in 2026. So we got a little bit of a wait, which is fine.
25, Invincible, where you at?
Right. I mean, Invincible needs to kind of hurry up and tell that story because, now that I think about it, that's the story where old boy gets
no, we don't need to discuss that story. Moving on.
I was gonna say, we're kind of getting to that. We're kind of getting to that part in the story. That's always like, ooh. Anyway, again, that's gonna do it for the news. So before we get to the comic book news, guys, we always do want to show love to Rick's Comic City. If you are in the Nashville area, guys, definitely check out Rick's Comic City. They are the #1 place to go to for Nashville, Tennessee, for comic books, for mangas, for collectors items, for movie posters, things of that nature. Anything geek or whatnot, you can definitely find there. Of course, you can go to their website at rickscomiccity.com for your pool listings of that nature. Let the guys know, let them know the guys at GetBit sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but again, you see our mugs on television shows, on the television TVs down there. We show them love because they show us love. But definitely, guys, check out Rick's Comic City if you are in the Middle Tennessee area. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, please support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. They are the last places, as we keep saying, the last places to where you can not only get a comic book, not only get a manga, not only get a collector's item, but you actually get an experience. Amazon's good. Barnes Noble's good. Anything with a Starbucks is good. But going into a comic book store is not just getting what you want. It is an experience. And kids, we cannot stress this enough. Read the banned books. Libraries are now having banned book sections. Especially I know here in our libraries, we have them here in the South. So if you do see a banned book list or a banned book shelf, please take a chance to read. There's something there that you should know, but they don't want you to know. But again, expand your mind. Reading is fundamental. It helps out in so many areas. So never stop reading, guys. And again, support these places. These are the last places to where you are going to miss them when they are gone. What do you say, Kara? Remember when we were worried about butt hamsters? What times?
Now we have beat up chickens.
Now we got beat up chickens and sheep. But yeah, damn, good times. But 2026 is gonna mess a lot of people up. That's all I'm gonna sit there and say. But no, outside of that, let me just see what Joe's got for the comics as he's pulling that up. But while he's pulling that up, so Tafari, anything that you wanted to bring up about BlurCon as far as your time there?
Honestly, we worked with what we got. The streaming area was actually it was pretty chill because the way it is, you go down the escalator and off to the right is where your attention actually goes because that's the vendor hall. So we're like off to the left side in the cut. You only really go there if you have a room and you need to use an elevator to get to a higher floor. So the amount of people that like kept stopping by to say what's up to us and come check out the booth or just hang with us and shoot content, whether they were like on the couch doing interviews or like shooting their own stuff. So at one point we had like Cleo Thomas and the How to Nerd podcast crew and their people. Wes Armstrong was good because he was promoting his Vigilantes film and he was handing out flyers for his movie that he was screening later that night. Roxy was stopping by here and there to come say what's up to us. Hellspawn was over there. Skip from Blurred Over was there. Danny Say So, a bunch of like, it was kind of like the hot spot, but it was out of everyone's way. So the fact that you kept like checking for us and stopping over to say what's up like 5 to 6 times a day. DJ Dimitri came by a couple times. Me and him got real cool over the weekend. I got to help like shoot and direct some stuff with him, Cleo, and Tony Weaver. Ozzy couldn't come, but Biz was there manning his booth, so he's gonna try to make it next year. Interviews was a little bit nutty, but we managed to pull it off. Everybody was a lot of fun. Matan Wakani, that dude had the time of his life. I don't know if he's fully Africa based or if he lives here, but I just the random people you run into at a 24-hour con at 4 a.m.
lets you know that you all have the same messed up sleep schedule.
Just as far as creative people, it's like cool. So I'm not the only one doing this because it's like at one point I was just out. I went to go get a file from Lainey and Jay, and then I come downstairs and there's Skip just sitting on our couch, like the camera's not even rolling. So me and him are sitting there for 30 minutes, just people watching and just up and down the escalator. Here's friends and whatnot, and the pizza was like the late night stoner spot. So Skip goes and leaves. So then I go to get just see who's at the food truck area, and then I run into Atanda, and then he took a photo with me at the Akira Toriyama tribute, and then we go to this car, this Black Panther mobile, this dude had tricked out that apparently he's been wanting to show him since like the first movie. So hanging out with that, then I turn around. The most random run-in was seeing my homie, your boy Roshi. The whole bunch of the DreamCon crew from like Tampa was there. And he's like, "You're everywhere." I'm like, "You're everywhere. What are y'all even doing out here?" It was him, his wife, Jazzy Guns, and her boyfriend. And I'm like, what? This is like the most random place for y'all to be in this month. How did y'all even end up here? He's like, "Oh, well, they live here. She had a panel, and we just happened to be in the area for a reunion." So I'm like, but at 4 a.m, like getting pizza at a con. And then right next to them is Dimitri, who's just slumped in a chair in his Powerline outfit outside. It was just the most random amalgamation of blurredom, and it was great.
Although I do gotta ask you this though, how in the world that you managed to pull off the Powerline? Can we really call it a rap battle?
That's what it was. So I thought they had like an idea, and they were just like, "So what are we doing?" I'm like, "What the fuck? Y'all tell me. Y'all just add." And that's when we found out about it. So when I found Dimitri, I think it was him and Cosplay X Twerk was hanging out, and he was just in his chair. He's like, "So me and Cleo are actually gonna do this skit tomorrow," and so yeah, we're thinking it's gonna be like a rap. But I'm like, "Dude, go to bed." He's like, "I should."
He went to sleep.
But I'm not going. He went to sleep. Yeah, he's like, "So it's gonna be like Powerline versus Powerline, but a rap battle." So we go down to the grand ballroom, and he's like, "All right, now we got to get people." And I was like, "All right, as hard as it is to get y'all in this room, just walk outside and just point." So we go out there, and then we start grabbing people, and we're just like, "Okay, come over here." And he's like, "Okay, how are we gonna shoot it?" And I'm like, "When did I become in charge of this shit?" So Cleo hands me his phone, and I was like, "Okay, if this is what we do, everyone stand in this corner. You don't need a full circle like the rap battle, We can fake it. We just need everyone to stand against that wall and make a half circle, and y'all just stand between the two edges closer so that I can, like, it looks like I'm getting an angle shot, but there's actually so we did the first take, and then a bunch of other people walked in and heard it, and I was like, hey, to anyone in this room, we're shooting this, so if y'all want to be in and just overreact, it was basically supposed to be like a super hot fire skit.
Yeah.
So then these three girls walk in dressed as Steve Harvey. And I was like, can y'all please come over here and just stand in the back? Like, if you got a piece of paper, rip it up and throw it. So then we did the second take, and that's the one that y'all saw got posted. And then there's another one that we shot upstairs. I'm filming, but it's me, him, Tony Weaver, and Cleo. And it's like two power lines jumping a guy who can't name the movie right. So whenever that one comes out. But yeah, that was my directorial debut that just came from a random 4 a.m. run-in.
See, it just goes to show you the best things happen at 4 a.m. But no. But aside from that, though, again, BlurCon is there. We as far as me, Tafari, and others, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but Tafari and Kira and the rest of the guys at Blur's Eye were able to go. They did have a continuous stream that is on BlurCon. I think they're doing a replay of it right now. And at the same time, the interviews that were done also can be seen. And I keep telling you, it's like BlurCon is one of those things to where it's a lot of people describe it as homecoming. It really is. Or as I had to explain to my 11-year-old son, as my wife sat there and said, it looks like Freaknik, and my son said, "What's Freaknik?" And the look of horror on my wife's face is priceless.
That's more yes, there's some stuff out there, but that's more so the late night aspect. There is enough activities for kids to do to where you can duck the crazy. It's out there, but it's at least tasteful. Once you get to after party hours, it's like, all right, y'all really don't need to be. Y'all should be in. Me and Skip saw some teenagers running around. We was like, where are y'all parents? Y'all should all be in bed. It's like, I get it, it's late, but it's late. Y'all should be in your rooms with a DS or a handheld somewhere. But there was a couple people that came over, and Skip was just hilarious because he wasn't playing. Because someone's like, "You owe me a hug." He's like, "Am I allowed to hug you in that? I just need verbal confirmation because I don't want no problems." But we just kept go up and down the escalator, just everything out. And he's like, the first couple of times is cool, but after a while, it's like, can I get something for the imagination? Right. It's not even fun anymore.
See, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen to me when I go next year with the wife, the kids. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to feel like Danny Glover after 9 o'clock. I'm getting too old for this shit. And at the same time, where your parents at? But anywho, Joe, I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to. I do see your lineup, sir. So whenever you're ready.
No, I wanted you guys to talk about BlurCon. That's why I didn't pull up the books. I want you guys to, by all means, talk about BlurCon. It's important to you guys.
Oh,
yeah.
So, no, it is. But Tafari was more of a victim at BlurCon, though. I didn't want to. It was starting to head in that territory.
It was the first video for the group chat was just to appease Mayhem, so he'll leave me alone. I didn't know it was gonna have this week and a half long ripple effect of just. Even that TikTok y'all sent to the thing, I'm like, either that happened after I left or I was asleep in the couch on the background and just missed that entire segment. But half of that face, if you go to the Blur's Eye community tab, I was mostly kidding when we took the picture. By the time we snapped the picture, that face was just really how I felt the entire time during that segment. Because at first it was playful, but then after a while, I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? I'm not sure how to process this.
And Kira, he liked it. I saw it in real time.
My ass. It was sensory overload is maybe the word I'm looking for here.
I can go with that.
Because even when Skip left, I heard my name get called. She was like, "You walk too fast." I'm like, "Where the fuck did you come from?"
Lord. Well, yeah. So BlurCon was definitely a vibe. But Joe, I do see that you do have your comics up, sir. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm looking. Evo just put out some announcements.
I was gonna say, did we miss any trailers today, or?
Mature and Vice got confirmed for KOF 15. Apparently, Maximilian dude is getting mean to all hell right now, but in a positive way.
So that must be some news.
Huh?
Now I'll look to see what they said, but go ahead.
No. Like he's getting memed, but in a positive way because Yo Video Games has like a booth that is overseeing the tournament space.
Uh-huh.
So it's Max just standing there in front of the window with his back turned, his hands behind his back, and so far I've seen him overlooking Gotham City, him with the Yakuza of Patriarch of the Yo Video Game family.
Mm-hmm.
Him overlooking the construction of several Metal Gears. Him looking up the construction of the Avas. So God bless Evo and Twitter and whatnot. Of course, it's my version of Twitter, which is where nothing really bad ever happens.
My second account is great, minus this Japanese Chitlin account that keeps popping up because I don't know. It's like this weird little like cat creature. Shut up. It's like this weird little cat creature. It's like, hi, I'm Chitlin. I'm the Japanese mascot. And it has like 5 accounts.
Oh yeah, no, I know who that is.
What is that? And why is it everywhere?
It is a regional mascot, kind of like Kuma from Kumamoto, but it's noteworthy because it's always doing like all these the person in the suit is always doing these crazy stunts to help get their region noticed.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, what? Like, it's a cute thing, but like, duh, it's like it's under every reply in the ad. No, the ads on Twitter look like replies. You're like, hey, new whatever just dropped. Why is this here? And then you block it or mute it, and then you find out this little bastard has 4 or 5 other alt accounts, all posting different stuff. So if you block one, it just replaces itself with the other.
Yeah, pretty much. No joke. I've only seen they only talked about Rivals to Arcane and Hunter x Hunter Mean Impact and talking about Miriam as a playable character.
That game's gonna come and
just go to Maximilian Dude's actual Twitter page. You'll see the memes.
Yep, I'm on that. I'm on that now. But
that Hunter x Hunter game is gonna come and go in a week.
Oh yeah. God, yeah.
Pretty much so. But what we got, Joe, on the comic book side, sir?
All right. So for comics, so we don't get too much more distracted. Superman number 16. This is an absolute justice or absolute power tie-in. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Jamal Campbell. God bless that man doing his work. No, just flat out art by Jamal Campbell. So he did colors and ink. Superman is being worked on, as you can see here from our page, for being shot because he currently has no powers because the Amazo robots that Amanda Waller deployed have been absorbing powers from heroes. So we just get to see the direct fallout from that. Mercy is playing Savior across Metropolis and saving as many heroes she can as far as she can. So we see several heroes are in the Fortress of Solitude. We find Zatanna trying to get into one of the magical bars, but can't because she has no powers.
Although she got hands.
She got hands.
Trained by Batman.
Well, she dated Batman at one point. She always has to have hands. He's not going to let a Silver St. Fox happen twice.
Right.
Silver St. Cloud.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Silver St. Fox.
There is a brief argument between Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, and Red Tornado, which I feel is minorly justified considering they're all Ivo's creations. So should we be mildly concerned about Red Tornado? Honestly, no. But, Ted is looking out for the greater good, just like making sure it's like there's no backdoor programming for you. Right, Reddy? And Red Tornado's like, I'm insulted you even had to ask.
That was funny. Red Tornado looked at him like, you do realize we're 2 different programs, right? 2 different ones. I've been me.
But Ted is a tech genius, so like he does have valid concerns.
Yeah. Although he would rather take Red Tornado apart, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Superman, of course, recovers. We get to see Mercy break down. And then there's some other stuff involving Luthor, who doesn't remember that he's Luthor. I am still not sold on that whole bit, but, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Overall, good book, good tie-in, solid tie-in. I feel like this is going to be one of those stories where the trade is going to collect everything in one fell swoop and shit them in chronological order rather than just the main stories. And we lost Will.
You probably go do dad things.
Yeah, probably go do dad things. A good book, definitely recommended. Over on the other side,
What is happening on the cover page?
Yeah, we'll get into that. So this is Wonder Woman number 11, also an Absolute Power tie-in. This is written by Tom King with art by Tony S. Daniels and colors by J. Daniel Ramos. This is happening taking place during the events of Absolute Power number 1. So Wonder Woman is pretty much just having a giant poker card game with pretty much Justice League Dark. We see Billy and Mary Batson here, the Shazams, John Constantine, Madame Xanadu, and Jason Blood, also known as Etrigan, and Detective Bobo Chimp. They get assaulted by an Amazo, and this is how we get the magical Amazo, by draining stuff off. So everybody gets their powers drained, minus Diana, because Diana technically can't be drained because she is inherently magic. So that is why that cover looks like that. But now we're dealing with the magical Amazo. Also, Steve Trevor gets pulled into the book because Amanda Waller is making Sarge Steel do stuff. Kind of have to go check on Obi. Yep. So good book. Wonder Woman, very, very fun. I keep seeing the chat twitch, and I don't know what's going on.
Is it like popping up again, or what's the?
Okay, what's updated software? Can't. I don't know. Like I see it move, like someone made a thing, and then it like disappears. It's being weird. Jumping over into Marvel with Steve Orlando and Pete Woods writing Annihilation 2099. Also the backup story, also by Steve Orlando. Dracula Risen with art by Dale Eaglesham. Goes by Raul Angelo. So this is we get to see Red Hulk 2099, a group of pretty much kind of like Alien 1. A group of salvagers lands on a planet. Turns out it's Ego. Ego is dying and senses that Terax, one of the former heroes of Galactus, is coming for him. So he gives the surviving member of the salvage crew a red fruit, which turns him into a Hulk. And then he just beats the crap out of Terax. And then some many years later, we find a crash ship on a planet with remains, but it's remains with fangs.
Yeah.
Very straightforward book. Honestly, not too much happening here right now. I don't understand how this is Annihilation unless everything's going to come together in the final book. These are kind of like anthology stories about these take on characters in 2099. Still real well written, though, because Steve Orlando does know his 2099. The Dracula book is like the overall story because apparently Dracula was on Earth and tried to make a vampire race, and then because they believe the vampires died out, and Miguel's like, oh no, we actually worked out a thing and we sent you guys off to another planet. Like, you guys have your own sunless planet where you just chill and live. And Dracula's like, cool, I'm going to space so I can find that planet. Like I said, good book. Steve Orlando knows what he's doing. We are not kissing up in any way, shape, or form because he's coming on the show in 2 weeks, but he does know how to write a 99 book.
I didn't say it.
So, what'd you think?
This one was a little. It was good stories. For now, 2099. Sorry, guys, had to kind of step out for a second. Thought my son was up, but no. going back, Superman, still a good time for Absolute Power. Liked it. Annihilation 2099. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the fact of where they're going with it. Sometimes
I need more. I need more coherent tissue between the stories of what's going on.
Thank you. That makes a lot more. That because it just feels like two different stories and not really a continuity between the two. But that's my only gripe. Outside of that, great stories. But yeah, that's my only gripe about that.
We also covered Wonder Woman. Now we got the Magic of Mazo.
Wonder Woman sometimes can be a hit or a miss. That tie-in for Absolute Power, I was like, okay, this one may not have been a home run. It's a base hit, but it's not a home run. But I don't know. It could have been better. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you're good. Next up, we got Scarlet Witch, written by Steve Orlando with art by Jacopo Kaminagi. At least I think that's how that's pronounced. And colors by Frank William. We are still dealing with the current crisis that killed Wanda in the previous issue. Wanda wakes up in the Witch Road, which will be further explored in Agatha all along. They are setting up precedents now. That way, when everybody flips their crap in a couple weeks saying, this is new, we can point to this story, go, here, everything's explained here. Go here. Pietro finds a magical cursed circular saw to help deal with the demons. This demon queen, and calls in other sister, the doctor and mistress of magnetism, Polaris. Meanwhile, Wanda deals with not quite Cthulhu in order to return to the realm of the living. Overall, good story. I like where this is going. I like this like eldritch horror that they're adding into Scarlet Witch, because she's like, you really can't take me over. I don't have much room left in me because I'm also holding Chthon. Because the last time he tried to control me, I just sucked him into myself. I think this dude's name is like Mordigan. Mord I Gun.
Although you did answer my questions. It was like, okay, so they are going to try to use this in ties to Agatha for the Witch's Road. So that makes a lot of sense, because like you said, they're just setting up precedent for when Agatha starts. But no, good issue though. Although Scarlet Witch holding in that and basically just being the epitome of the Darkhold. That's interesting, but no, good issue.
Wanted to do all the things. Also, Darcy's been taken to a cabin in the woods, which is kind of creepy, but it is what it is.
She gets put in weird situations.
She has. Moving on over, we got another Blood Hunt tie-in, but I like this one, so we will talk more about it in detail. This is Wolverine, but Laura Kinney Wolverine, the Wolverine I enjoy, the Wolverine I will always read, because my favorite character gets reintroduced in this. We bring back Gabby. We learn where Gabby's been and everything. Gabby's being used as a blood bank because her blood, much like Laura blood, is Wolverine's blood, meaning vampires get healing properties from it. And they have set up a mutant blood bank so that vampires can obtain mutant abilities by harvesting them from one of Dracula's kids, Zarev?
Close enough.
Xariv. I can't pronounce those things. But mostly we just get Laura and Wolverine and Honey Badger taking on vampires. This is not an uncommon thing for them. This is a typical Tuesday night. Laura is part of the Exterminators, and Gabby got Jonathan Wolverine from a animal care facility that was making them into zombies. That also teamed up with Deadpool. So, good book. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun.
For me, it was okay. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad book. X-23, when it comes to Laura, it's not one of my favorite X-Men characters. The story is still very well done. It's just I never really, again, my personal bias, this is not a knock on the character. nor the artist, nor the writer. It's just the fact of how I took it. It just didn't resonate with me. But it's like it still helps because it does add to the Blood Hunt story overall. It's just that for me, this was more of a harder to read just because it didn't pull me in like it would pull somebody else in. So, not a knock on it, just not my cup of tea.
And this is written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Robert Gill and colors by Nolan Woodard. Speaking of that, we're going over Blood Hunt 3 of 3, Dracula. This is written by Danny Lore with art by Vincenzo Corrado and colors by David Cruel. Blade's daughter Brielle has to work through her emotions and whatnot because they're fighting. Technically, they're fighting in the pages of Miles Morales because they're dealing with one of the immortal eldritch vampires, Varney, or a spawn of Varney, because Varney is what's taken over Blade.
Right.
So they're dealing with some part of him or something. It's like a giant flesh creature they're fighting. And Dracula's having to deal with it. Because Brielle's still having a battle of conscience crisis. Like, love my dad. I don't want to kill my dad. My dad could never do this. And they're like, your dad's a host for a vampire eldritch god. It's not your dad anymore. You're going to need to put him down.
And of course, that whole struggle of...
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say not to interrupt you. Just the whole struggle of whether or not she wants to kill her father. I don't want to kill my dad. And, the one thing that cuts through all the noise is her mom. Well, here's her mom's voice to brings her back to the reality plane. And then her mom is pretty much saying, well, you'll get chewed out when you get home. But for right now, do what you think is right. So, of course, Dracula the whole time of this comic had me laughing. He's like, if this girl doesn't figure out what she wants to do, well, I'm sitting here fighting trash. It's like listening to a Target shopper in Walmart. Like, I can't believe I am wasting my time fighting minions as he's waiting for old girl to wake up. But no, when she does finally wake up, she does sit there and say, let's go rescue my dad. And to Dracula's like, finally, and then they'll eventually, move on to the close to the, I won't say finality, but it's getting to that tumultuous point. But
no, I think Blood Hunt 5 is the finale.
5 is the finale? Okay, so we're moving to the finale then.
Either 5 or 6, one of the two. Because all the one shots are wrapping up, all the 3-parters are wrapping up here.
Okay, so this is probably going to be the finale then. But no, it was still a good issue though. Dracula, this Dracula in this run he cracks me up.
Everything is just so beneath him at this point. It's like, why do I have to get involved in this?
Right. He's like, I am saving you people, and I don't even like y'all. That's the kind of vibe I get. It's like, I am saving humans, and I don't like y'all at all. But because vampires are out here, it's kind of like, I have to be the janitor. But no, it's just, like you said, the fact that he treats everything beneath him is just funny as hell. But it was still a good issue, though. I liked it.
Also, this cover and the way Dracula's been looking as of late, I'm just going to say it now. It reminds me of Kane from Legacy of Kane.
I'm surprised that who did Legacy of Kane? I am surprised that Ubisoft hasn't come calling yet to Marvel. I'm surprised. It may have been just enough not to involve the lawyers, but I'm surprised. But
I dig the book. I love the fact that Dracula's so over it. It's just hilarious. Okay, I did sneak this in. Will didn't get to read this one, but we are finishing.
I've been hearing about
Iron Man. This is
Iron Man. This one a lot.
Huh? Say again, Safari.
So this is Iron Man number 2. Do what?
Okay. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
This is Invincible Iron Man number 20. This is the finale of the current run of Iron Man. This is written by Jerry Dugan with art by Brian Vanzella and art by Andrea DeVito. We get to know, yes or no, if Tony and Emma stay together. Technically, they were never married. Tony married Emma's human alter ego, so technically Emma and him are not married. However, Emma royally screws over multiple evil financial institute within the master of all inside trading to make Tony richer than he was to begin with. And then asks for a small favor, which I'm fairly certain is how he is probably funding Emma's version of the X-Men. I guarantee you he's the one funding it. Exceptional X-Men. I think that comes out next week. He attends Rhodey's court hearing, which Jen gets all of his charges dropped, and the court has to apologize for Rhodey, who still somewhat has that fade high top, but not the Arsenio Hall fade high top anymore. Kind of evened it out a little, got a little bit better. He went to a barber between episodes. We'll just put it that way.
Operation Fresh Cut.
Ooh, we don't talk about that. Emma also asked Tony to do something for him, so he gets with Ironheart, and they put a memorial down over at the X-Men Treehouse in Central Park. Also, Tony gives one last gift to Emma, where she visits Dr. Strange, and Bats the dog gives her the scrapbook the Cuckoos made, and then they kind of go their separate ways, and we see Tony and Rhodey playing basketball with a 1-ton basketball in their suits. But not before he's got to fight Crimson Dynamo at his own book selling, which everybody agrees Tony Stark has a horrible book title. The Assembling of Tony Stark. And everyone's like, you need to come up with a better title.
It's like, let Emma come up with the titles.
So the book wraps up. They're moving forward into a new era of Iron Man. This finishes it out. I think it's probably one of my favorite runs of Iron Man. I mean, for obvious reasons. Everyone knows I'm a huge Emma Frost fan. I will always call a spade when I'm being biased on something. But this was just generally good Iron Man, which is few and far between, in my opinion.
Although it is cool to actually see them granted, they didn't wind up together, but still a happy ending. Tony's back being rich, and Emma's back where she should be. Still somehow, a heart of gold sometimes, mostly diamond, but still good book. That's all. I mean, I'm glad to hear that's how that wound up, because I was kind of curious what would happen after the whole X-Men war. So interesting.
Yep, we're set up for that. Speaking of the X-Men, we're going to be talking about the Phoenix, because Jean Grey gets her own book. This is written by Stephanie Phillips, art by Alejandro Miracolo, and colors by David Cruel. Jean is going around the universe as the Phoenix, saving things. She saves a planet from a dying sun, and then the Klein 2, which is a prison that's rotating around a black hole, is slowly getting pulled into the black hole. And you'll never guess who's there. Nova. Richard Rider Nova, as he's fighting, as the prison's coming apart. He is trying to fight all the prison inhabitants, including Morg, who is also a former Herald of Galactus, so he is not to be messed with. Also, a dark god that fought Thor escapes. And Jean has to make the painful choice of find the dark god or save everybody in the prison. So she's got to make the right choice. This is good. This is fine. Good start off to the Jean Grey thing. We see still in contact with Cyclops. Scott has no problem with what Jean's doing out in the universe, and just like, keep in touch. Love you. Have fun. Be safe.
That was literally what's so funny about that one, because the whole telepathic conversation that they have literally damn near galaxies away, this man is pouring coffee and having a full-blown mental conversation with his wife. At the same time, let's be honest, the Phoenix is basically doing Captain Marvel's work right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get that. It's a good issue. It's a good starting issue. Just kind of curious to see where they're going with this, considering the fact that we won't see Jean for a while because the X-Men, like we talked about in the previous podcast episode, the X-Men has their own starting issue out since past the Krakoan War. So this will be interesting. I kind of want to see where this goes. At the same time,
the next issue sees her in leagues with her father-in-law. So the Phoenix and the Starjammers.
No, that's going to be real interesting. But no, it was a good first issue. I will give it that.
Yep. Well, that's all the books we got this time. It was very small choice this time around, but no real big standout book this week. I think all of them were good. All of them were fine. If I had to pick anyone, I guess the Scarlet Witch book would be my pick for the week.
I gotta go with Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt just because of Dracula. As long as Dracula's a part of it, that I know it's gonna be a great story. But thank you for that. Yes, I was gonna say this before we wrap this up, guys. I know we talked about Evo news. Again, that is just a couple of snippets we got. So we're probably gonna come back to that because we have Evo this weekend. And Tafari, I believe you have DreamCon this weekend.
Yeah, so
and
I got to hit the road for that soon.
And then San Diego Comic-Con. So, yeah, we got a lot. So we will be
July.
Yeah, it's a gauntlet. Although one person believes that they can make that gauntlet, Godspeed to that man if he can pull that off. But we will be back next week with news from Evo 2024, also with news from San Diego Comic-Con and news, if released, from DreamCon. Although Deadpool will be coming out, so Friday might be an iffy. We will let you know how that goes. But as we wrap this up, we do want to let people know what we're doing. So Tafari, I'm starting with you first, sir.
So I'm over here in the lab doing a lot of editing for Blurred's Eye View. We have interviews with Phil Lamar again. We have Jay Lee, if anybody's watched The Orville or any other projects he's been in. We have Ahmed Best and Atan Wakani, who is King T'Chaka from Black Panther. That one is that guy's a riot, man. I'm also doing my own thing under here. I have a convention how-to guide. You can find me here on all platforms. You can also find me shooting stuff with other people and having fun. So got to hang out with the cast of Vigilante, the How to Nerd podcast. Got to shoot some stuff with them. So that all was cool. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing at DreamCon. I will probably be doing my 1000th upload there. And that's probably going to be our shopping spree with the Virus Family / Deadpool and Wolverine. Also, we have official DreamCon RDC trading cards that are out right now, so you can go get these at lsdcollections.com. Got these in the mail, so we have a promo going for that as well. But you will find me in Austin, Texas in these next couple of days, so that is where I will be.
Thanks. Joe, you want people to know what you're up to this weekend, sir, and what you'll be doing this week?
Working, sleeping, passing out on the couch, voting. Watching Ultraman with Tafari, if our schedule can line up for this. I don't know what you're doing Wednesday. We can do it whenever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not stuck on a schedule for that thing. It's just whenever you're free and whenever you want to put in the time. So, yeah. So, Tafari and me hanging out on Show Guy Joe, reviewing Ultraman Arc. I'm streaming a little bit of Monster Hunter because it's fun. I have yet to pass that on the couch on stream yet. But that will happen because I am always sleep deprived. The joy of working in healthcare. Wear a mask, guys. COVID's back up on the rise. I completely understand it's not as bad, but it is very evasive this time around. So just be aware, be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Please go vote. As I said at the top of the show, please vote. Please make sure things stay moderately sane for the next 4 years. I can handle a little bit of craziness, but like, we don't need to be nuking hurricanes. We don't need to be injecting ourselves with light anymore. Let's just some moderate saneness. Let either side say what they want at any point. Just like, do what I do. Pay your taxes. Make sure the police don't show up at your door. That's all you got to do.
Pay taxes and make sure the police don't show up at your door.
That's all I ask for in my life. It's like, are the police coming to take me away? No. Did I pay my taxes? Yes. Great. I'm already right in line with the Joker.
Lord. Me take on the IRS? Nope. I'm going to recite the whole line. I think I'm going to recite the line right now. It's like, I'm crazy. I'll take on Batman. But the IRS?
Monster Hunter, you can see me take on some high rank stuff. I'm already in Master Rank. I'm on Master Rank 4. So stuff is getting crazy. Stuff is getting dangerous. Numbers are hitting in the triple digits. So are the monsters.
Nice.
You say that, but
I'm gonna join you. Like I said, I got some free time.
You really should right now because it's on the version with the expansion is on sale for $20.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna join you soon enough on Monster Hunter. It's just catching up on everything is challenging right now, especially with the coming weeks or so. It's really gonna be challenging, but I will definitely be joining you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then in 2 weeks, we have a big pool. We have a Marvel and DC comic writer coming to the show, which I don't know. Tafara, are you joining me on that one or not, or is this just me?
What day is that again?
Calendar. Thursday the 1st.
What time does that start for us?
He wants 6 p.m. Central, so 7 Eastern.
Possibly. I'm usually silent during those hours because there's a whole shenanigans happening here during the first hour of Blurred's Eye. So I'm usually quiet during those times. I may be able to sub one of the team in, possibly, so you don't have to go it alone.
Please don't make me go it alone. I will ask questions and just do what I did at the con when he goes like, "Hey, I'll be on your podcast." Okay.
Like I said, as long as my daughter does not decide to show up anytime beforehand, I think I'm okay to join you during that hour. But like I said,
okay, cool. I mean, I would love for all of us to talk to him about it.
Yeah, it just depends. It just depends if Zuri decides that she wants to make her appearance that day or the day or the week thereof. So we're gonna hope. Like I said, we're gonna hope Zuri stays in because I'd rather have her show up at the end of August.
I have a horrible image of like he's doing something important. Emergency launch button.
Just I hope not. I'm like I said. For all those that don't know, we're expecting a baby girl, so it could be between here and end of August. Right now, it's a wait and see. So, I'm sorry, Joe. What else did you want people to know what you're doing?
Well, I was saying, go vote. Joe Titan last name on Twitch. Joe, Show a Guy Joe on YouTube. Total Justice Gaming gets some love every now and then, but mostly I'm just streaming on Twitch, chatting with friends, chatting when I can. But like, it's mostly me dodging, rolling, and hitting monsters with a really, really big hammer or shooting them in the face with a really, really big lance gun. There's no in between. I'm finally working on a longsword build, but that's just because I need something to do. Otherwise, I'm running around in crab armor shooting things with a little gun.
Nice. All right, so I guess it'd be me. So before I get to myself, guys, I do want to do shameless plugging to blurredstation.com. If you've heard us talk about blurredstation.com, it's only because we keep saying this is the place, this is the table, the vehicle to where the content that we own can be for us and by us for people of color and blurs to enjoy. If you haven't heard about Blurred Station, as many times on this podcast, please go check out blurredstation.com. Hit the join now button. If you do hit the join now button, please select the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership where you can select myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari TV, or any of us on that list, we would appreciate it all the same. It is $10.99 a month for Blur Station. After 36 months of paying $10.99 a month, guys, you may actually get the option to own a piece of Blur Station. And at $10.99 a month, 36 months, you can't beat that with a stick. At the same time, if you're a content creator and you want to have your content shown on blurstation.com, you must become a member first. After joining, you'll be able to speak with people behind the curtain. And from there, if everything works out, your content can also be on blurstation.com. Content that you own, it's just that Blur Station will ask for a bit of the distribution. And honestly, that's not a bad deal when you think about it. But we keep saying we want our own Netflix, we want our own Amazon Prime, we want our own Hulu. Blur Station is it. So definitely, guys, check that out when you get a chance. As for myself, guys, you can find me, Black_Spartan615 on the interwebs. I usually do really on almost do reports on reviews on almost everything, including workouts, because I find peace between the weights and I try to stay in shape as best as I can. Also, the link at the bottom, guys, let me make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you will copy and paste that link into your browser, we'll take you to our link tree that has the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts, how the fact we got here and get big podcasts. Like, share, subscribe. Again, a like, share, and follow costs nothing, but means the world to us, because we simply cannot do this without you guys. And we thank everybody who shares us, who likes us, who comments us. We appreciate every action that you do. But again, like, share, follow, tell people about us. We do want this channel to grow. We really do. At the same time, guys, again, everything is out there for the world to see, especially with the world. Cons are going on. As Tafari said, that DreamCon is happening. San Diego Comic-Con is happening, as we have some friends going to that too. I do have rules for going to the con, although check out Tafari TV, because he has a how to prepare for going to your first Comic-Con. If you haven't been to Tafari TV on YouTube, if you haven't been to Tafari TV on IG, that video is there. I highly recommend it because one of my rules is in there. But again, very informative from beginning to end. But my con rules. Number one, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplaying is for everybody, regardless of your height, weight, preference, what have you. You can honestly cosplay however you want. The only rule in that, don't do blackface. Don't want your ass kicked at the con? Don't do blackface. Simple as that. At the same time, as long as you're not hurting anybody or you're not being completely disrespectful to other people going to a con, knock yourself out. Number two, hygiene is important. Let me stress this again. Hygiene is important. These cons have next to no room with a lot of people going back and forth. You may find yourself on an elevator. Safari can probably explain that one. You can probably find yourself on an escalator. Again, you might be close to somebody. Please use deodorant. Please use soap or body wash. Please, a little bit of cologne or fragrance. Just don't overdo it. And wear clean clothes. I cannot stress that enough. Please wear clean clothes. Hygiene is important. And number three is also rules that I have for myself, that I have for everybody else, guys. In a world that is cruel and cold, at these cons, mannerisms is everything. Be nice. Be kind. Talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick. And we'll all be cool. Simply put. But as we wrap this up, guys, again, we will probably figure out the situation, because next Friday, I believe, is the 26th, and that is the Deadpool Wolverine movie. So some of us may actually be at the movie theaters. We may or may not have a show. But if we don't, then there'll be a rerun of a previous episode. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. But again, guys, if you are going to cons, especially with the heat going on, I also meant to say this too: hydrate. I cannot stress this enough. It's still 100-degree weather. It's still 100-degree weather in some spots. Please hydrate. We do not need people passing out at cons, because you definitely don't want to sit there, something that you worked on, and then you forget to make sure to take care of your body. So please hydrate. Have fun at these cons. Have fun at the movies. Please don't spoil anything about Deadpool Wolverine. Don't. If you see something that's fun, keep it to yourself. That's all we're asking. But any last words, guys, before we call it a night?
Don't update the Windows 11.
Right. Turn off your automatic updates. Please. you will say, you will look, as two IT guys are in this room right now, we will tell you from experience, if you own a Windows laptop, tablet, or personal computer that's running Windows, do yourself a very big favor. Go to Windows Updates, turn off the automatic install option. I promise you, you will save yourself a world of hurt. Just because one update right now has basically reset half the world in some ways, especially if you're flying. I feel bad for those people. But aside from that, as we wrap this up, guys, we keep talking. What we usually do on Get Bit, we always call fandoms. We love them, we share them, we debate them in a healthy manner. What we don't want to be is toxic gatekeepers. We don't want to put somebody down because our taste is different than theirs. It doesn't make us superior. It just means that we're just different, and that's fine. The whole point of fandoms is to bring people into something, to experience something that they may never have. At the same time, the reason why we go to cons is that exact same thing. We want to include cohesion. We do not want to basically be gatekeepers. We don't want to be the quote-unquote authority, because we're not. And above all else, we just don't want to be dicks. We just want to have fun and be able to share in the one thing we all love, which is fandoms. So, with that being said, guys, again, thank you all for watching, for letting people know it's live, for liking it. We will definitely, this will basically be back up tomorrow on the replay if you missed it. We still want to know your opinions on everything that we talked about. So, with that being said, guys, I've been Will. He's been Joe. He's been Tafari. This has been Give It Podcast, guys. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll all go through this. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and above all else, have fun. Peace.
Go vote.